Welcome to our Rolemaster Actual play session. Twilight of the Old Order is a campaign set in the world of Duyranaki, the continent of men. In this gritty, cutthroat world, politics, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 170 of Twilight of the Old Order. The Twilight Party, after recouping and recovering, have decided to seek out their foe, the leadership of the Committee for the New Age. We pick up the story as the party have found an exit of the complex they are in, high above a chilly valley. Hello, my name is Chris, alternatively known on this channel and in this game as GM Chance. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our story, to the tale that we are telling this evening. What story is that, you might be asking? Well, what are we playing? We're playing a tabletop role-playing game. Its origins originally all the way back to the 1980s, and that tabletop role-playing system is called Rolemaster. It's known as quite a crunchy system, and I have indeed been playing it since the 1980s, as indeed a number of the players have as well, and I love it. The title of our story, well, you can see it on screen for yourselves. Twilight of the Old Order is the name of the campaign that we are playing, and we have been playing for quite some time. We started an in-person game initially, or started this game as an in-person game in around July 2019, and we switched to online play obviously during the pandemic and have been largely online ever since. We've been playing for a long time, but we've only been recording for a reasonably short period of time. We started recording these games tail end of 2022, early 2023. So you may hear things, you may hear references in this story of things that happened before we started recording. If you're interested in learning more about what happened in this game before we started recording, you'll see a couple of links down below. And one of the videos in this playlist that you're looking at, the very first video, should provide you with a bit of an overview of where the story was at before we started filming. And for those that are particularly keen, there is a link down below in the description of this video which provides a document with colourful document, lots of pictures, nothing too heavy to read, but that definitely fleshes out the story, the main points of the campaign a bit more. Okay, so that's the system we're using, that's the title we're using, but of course, to tell any good story, you need protagonists, you need heroes, and these are our heroes, 6 of them, as you can see up on screen. And in a second or so, we are going to turn to the players, the 5 players of those 6 characters. And yes, indeed, if you do the maths, one of the players plays 2 characters. We're going to turn to the players of those faces up on screen to introduce their character a little bit more with some questions and just some general discussion about what makes them tick. Before we do so, the part of the show, and for those that are regular viewers, you're probably sick of me saying this, but I'm going to keep saying it because I mean it. A sincere thank you to all of those that follow, particularly those that subscribe and those that just are interested in this story and in our hobby. We do this for fun. We'd be doing it anyway. It's great that we can record it, and share it with the world. And it's even better that there are people all around the world that are enjoying our stories and getting pleasure out of them too. So thank you for the support. Thoroughly encourage anybody who's stumbled across this for the first time, or maybe watch one or two, really would appreciate a like down below, or even better, a subscribe. Every YouTube channel online says exactly the same thing, but they say it for a reason. It does help both the channel grow and more people like you finds our content. Thank you. Okay, we are kicking off tonight with Anthony, who's going to describe his character a bit more. Anthony, the microphone is all yours.
Right, yeah, for Askell. I'm going to talk about his skill with his cutlass. So it more goes back to why cutlass and why he chose that as the preferred weapon of choice. So once again, as a young lad knocking around Shabibi, that includes hanging out the docks and what have you, and all the a few places of ill repute and around the docks. He got enamored with this one gentleman who went by the name of Captain Blood. And he would spend many a time just lurking in the background, listening to these men talk, in particular Captain Blood, and these tales of how he was once a physician, wrongly accused, imprisoned, and then on the prison ship, he led an uprising and took over the ship. And that's his last name was Blood, and he was made captain. That's how he became captain. But he used a cutlass, and he always had it at his side, and he would swish it around in the taverns and what have you, and grand tales. And that was young Askell was absolutely enamored with it, and without a father figure, he was like, "Yep, cutlass is the thing for me." Yeah, that's all Askell linkages to. Why he chose cutlass.
Excellent. And a highly practical weapon for a ship. It's short, so it doesn't get caught up in rigging and things like that. And it often has hand protection. So yeah, highly good idea. Marvellous, thank you. Who would you like to hear from next?
Let's hear from Giles.
Thanks, Anthony. So in this game I play Yotto. He's a tall, slender grey elf. And I was interested in this thought about how Yotto feels about the balance between good and evil. He's had some pretty crappy things happen to him through his life. The standard death of parents, persecuted by the evil overlords, the UPP. And so I think, although he would like, as a follower of Dio, to think there is balance between good and evil and more good in the world, his personal experience would suggest that's not the case. And I think possibly he'd see doing bad things like, killing Torvash Papillus as a way of restoring balance, upping the good by doing away with some of the evil.
Excellent.
So that's...
what is that with role-playing game characters' backgrounds? There's often a tale of woe. Not always, but often a tale of woe. Interesting.
I think for many of us there are tales of woe somewhere.
Yes, indeed.
Like many of us, Yotto finds the good in the world too.
He does.
And,
he does.
Maybe I'll pass it over to Star.
Oh, thanks. So there's my character Jada. She's a healer, so she wants to say the most breathtaking natural wonder she's ever seen is all the healing and the kindness, but it's not technically a natural wonder. So, actual answer is probably her quarterstaff, because recently it's been doing things she didn't know it could do. So that is the most breathtaking thing she's seen. Blaze Fury, destroyer of fire and dogs, defender of the people, her quarterstaff.
What's it called? Blaze
Fury, destroyer of fire and dogs and defender of the people. More names to be added soon, the more it does.
Excellent. Blaze Fury. Love it.
Yeah. Could we have Graham, please?
Excellent.
Thanks, Dara. I'll be playing two characters tonight. First of whom is Severin. How does your character view the role of luck in their adventure? Severin's got a curious attribute in that he's lucky. which means, which in game terms means if something occurs that could go one way or the other, it's more likely to go his.
Yep.
If that makes sense. I get a bonus on the roll. Should those, doesn't happen very often, but because mainly, you know, it's more black and white this game. But where there is grey, he's got, yeah, a greater chance in theory.
Excellent.
Tenya, what's the most breathtaking natural wonder that the character has seen? Yeah, it's not what I was going to say. I'm thinking of something else, but that's not actually not natural. I think probably the jungle. I think when he went into the, it was a vast and unforgiving environment that she had not been in before. Didn't particularly like it, but nonetheless, the sheer mass of life and nasty things that wanted to kill you was kind of impressive. And then discovering that elven city in the middle of it was quite a moment. Not that that's natural, but anyway, yeah, that's probably what I should. Yeah, we'll say that.
Nice one.
And turning over to Pete.
Oh, thanks, Graham. Yep, kia ora, my name's Pete and I play Nicholas. So question for Nicholas would be is, how does my character feel about the role of luck in their adventures? He's very sort of academic about it, but acknowledges that we've been extremely lucky sometimes. I suppose that's sort of influenced by the players knowing how close the dice rolls were, and but there have been also times where we've been reasonably unlucky. You know, that one attack that someone's holding out for and then they fumble it. It's like, oh man. But yeah, it's, I think we all know how it is, but it's certainly a bit of a roller coaster.
Excellent. Very good indeed. So to change the screen and to see characters, that's them in all their glory, named. Thank you one and all for introducing who you're going to be playing tonight. Now's the time where we turn to Pete to provide a quick précis for what happened in last session. Last session was 3 days ago. We're playing on a Wednesday night. We caught up on Sunday. 3 of us did. Anthony and Stara didn't join us for that session. Pete, take it away, please.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So we're in a Lords of Arcana ruin of some description in Krakoa, apparently. So we transported here using a teleportation device, and we went to the location called Krakoa, which we believe is the Star's Grave, which is where we need to stop Torvash Papillus, preferably before day 0. In this complex, we'd made our way through and we'd encountered this sound guardian beast, and we'd run away from it, which is great. At the beginning of last session, we'd sort of made our way up into this chamber where it first appeared, but we'd sort of led it away from there, and we felt we had a wee bit of time to explore this chamber. So a couple of us there's the sound, calling it the sound guardian, sound beast, I don't know. We did a little bit of exploring. There were 3 places to check out. Tanya went down and checked a little corridor that went down, which led to an old prison with a broken door on the ground. We're not sure exactly what that was all about. Something was trapped in there. Askell and Nicholas sort of stayed on guard at the top of the stairs where we were expecting the sound creature to come pursuing us eventually. And Yotto very bravely explored one of the other rooms there. There it is there. And I'm calling it the maggot room, because those things look like maggots. Oddly, really odd creatures that sort of lying there. We decided, okay, they're going to squirt something at them. They're going to do something mean and nasty, just to gonna. He slipped in, sort of jumped over them a bit, went around the corner, because there was 2 sarcophaguses in this room, and he wanted to check out. We wanted to loot the place, basically. Just bones in the sarcophaguses, but he did notice something over in the corner, back corner, that's it there. There was a sort of a pile of rubbish that he investigated and found something shiny that had caught his eye, which was a drinking horn. So got a little bit, there it is, thank you very much. Very sort of, I don't know, the Horn of Love, I don't know. And also in that back room was a hole. So a hole in the ground. My take, I don't know if we've had a chance to discuss it, but that's probably where the mummy fly maggot layer has made its way in. Who knows? We didn't actually want to stick around particularly to find out. Whilst that had happening, or just at the end of his investigation, I believe it was, he was on his way out to tell us what he had got and show us the horn, which we still need to investigate, by the way. Let's not forget that. Nicholas and Askell heard sounds of this fella's return, so the sound creature coming. Askell felt it was from sort of a different direction, but it didn't really matter. We were like, it's coming! Let's get out of here! And so we scarpered up what we assumed was the exit. Rightly assumed was the exit, I think, up a long set of stairs. And when we got to the top, because we sort of came across this odd creature. What I write down? The green flowery claw-footed lady is what I put. So there she was, and there's several examples, more of them there actually. But this lady was standing in this room, and we were like, okay, we're just keeping quiet, we come in peace sort of thing. She walked to the side, we walked through the room, and just as we were about to leave, because we just didn't engage her, we saw her walk through the wall. Okay, so she's not really there, but we still don't want to take anything for granted, so just slightly dubious of the inhabitants of this place. There've been a vision we had before of we thought the Lords of Arcana. They didn't harm us, but we just didn't want to push it. We left that room. Notably, there's a flagstone on the floor with the Krakoa symbol, like a sort of starburst or star sort of symbol right there. We decided to step over it. Throughout all of this time, we're checking as we go for traps. We're very trap shy. Came to this larger room, and again, full of similar creatures. So like the green flowery claw-footed lady was, there was another one, or this perhaps the same one there. There were, as you can see, fairy winged people flying around, bat winged people sort of flying around, other sort of odd people, some playing harps. There was harp music, all sorts of people. Then they were interacting with each other, wandering around the room, talking, took no notice of us. Very odd. We figure again that they're visions of some description, but we didn't know quite what to make of them. Didn't really want to stick around though. The other thing in this room is crates and boxes, I believe, along that wall. Yeah. We decided we wanted to, we do want to check and loot basically, but only after we've established where, if we can escape, because we're figuring. We touch that stuff, they might come after us. We made our way through the room, and just to note, perhaps this is gaming, I don't know, but we did roll to see if we bumped into any of them. We were trying to avoid touching them, and we did need to sort of make a maneuver roll to do that. It wasn't a hard one, but just seemed to be significant. Well, we don't want to touch them. Came into a very long corridor with sunlight at the end. Wow. And as you can see, to the left, a doorway to another room just sort of halfway down. That room was empty, and I think we've explored it by now. That was one of the last things we did. Seems to be nothing in there. Looking for secret latches, secret doors, all that sort of thing. This entranceway looks like it comes out. So beyond that, looks like there's snow falling. And it looks like it's coming out in the middle of a cliff face. There's, we can see there's a drop beyond there. So straight down, we don't know we didn't know how far, but it was, abrupt. What we can see there where Tanya is there's a metal plate on the floor with writing oriented to be read from the doorway. So upside down from the way we're reading it. And it said, the last word, friend, step through and you are welcome. So Askell read that using the Lords of the spectacles that can translate a written language, because they were attuned to Askell and they were attuned to Lords of Arcana writing, and that's what he could read. Last ward, friend, step through and you are welcome. And then there's on three of the four, not on the ceiling, but the other three walls, on the three walls, this yellow metal mineral that we've come across before, maybe magic blocking, we're not sure, and it's also got runes written on it as well. We couldn't read the runes, they're not in the Arcana script that the spectacles can read, so not sure exactly what to make of them. We decided, of course, that Tanya could go through first. She went through she jumped over the metal plate, the inscription plate, and then I think she jumped through the yellow metal part. There was some sort of a resistance there, and I think she didn't feel very well. But she made it through okay. And then she was able to have a look out of that doorway and found that we were very high up, 700 foot up, I believe, and on the side of a valley. And I think we're going to describe more of what she could see out there later. That's pretty much where we're up to. Just a few more things I forgot to mention. At the very beginning of the session, I think that Tanya, Askell, and Yotto, and we figured out, the elves, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Askell to a lesser degree, were feeling unwell. They had a metallic taste in their mouth and were feeling very odd and uneasy. That was one thing I forgot to mention. And also the other thing was that as Tanya looked out that doorway, she had flashes of the visions we'd had in the past, in particular the two armies fighting. But I think we'll probably hear more of that later. I think that's where we're up to.
Great.
All good.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed, as always, Pete. And yes, indeed, Askell, there is a little bit of information in your channel now, and you've been feeling that ever since you have been going up, basically. The further up you've gone, the further you've felt like that. That's in your channel.
One thing, actually, Chris, if I could just add to that. I think Tanya would have mentioned when she went, she explained what she was seeing, but also that she thinks she aged again.
Yes.
In much the same way when we felt something dramatic had occurred when she stepped over the thing, she felt her fingernails got longer again.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you. Great addition. Thank you, Graham. Nothing else, I don't believe, from me. Any other questions from anybody else? If it's not clear. Nope. Okay. Let's start the game. Yes, indeed. This is where we begin. Tanya on the other side of both this plaque on the ground, and sorry, I did have one correction, Pete. The yellow band does actually go all the way around, so it is on the ceiling as well. It's not obviously on the map, but it is at the top, so down the sides, on the bottom, and across the top. Tanya is on the other side. Other characters, Nicholas was staying here to keep an eye both down the hallway but also on Tanya. Other characters have just finished exploring quite comprehensively this room with nothing that they can find here. What happens?
Well, should we have a quick chat?
We go back to the doorway and have a quick chat to include Tanya, I reckon.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah. But I don't know if we need to move the figures or anything, but yeah.
Running feet. There. That's a nice little collection of...
Yep.
Splayed out.
Have some people on watch down the corridor, please.
Yeah, we can move one back. So, do you think... So you guys intend to go in, nab some stuff, and then run over the threshold, cast your spells, and come down? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we gonna fly you down now? Is that the idea?
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, otherwise it could take a bit longer.
Yeah. So who's gonna go back to the room?
Someone who doesn't have fly spells, PowerPoints.
Well, neither of
Not me.
mine. Neither of mine have any
Just-
abilities like that.
Yeah, I just think from a practicality, if we don't jeopardize those that can cast the fly spells, maybe.
Yeah. So we want to send Severin and Tanya down now, and maybe the healer, maybe Star.
So I guess the thinking was that we'd send Severin and Tanya down because then the people who can cast, if we're pressed for pursued, they don't need to have fly spells cast on them, and then the caster would have to fly themselves as well. That's the thinking why they'd go down first.
Well, the rest of us could go back. We want to get into the room, touch nothing, find the boxes, open them, figure out what we want to take, if anything, grab and run.
I wonder whether you just try and pick. I mean, you might want to just, I don't know, Severin might say, if you'll soon know if something's going to happen, but maybe you ought to, on the count of 3, be prepared just to pick some crates up and run with them rather than ferret around. Because if you're attacked...
How big were the crates? So in my head, I imagine these things as being like up to my waist, but maybe they're little.
Oh, okay.
They were quite... I'll show you. You know, it's been a matter of a few minutes since you just saw them.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were quite big.
Oh, okay. Because if those things do attack you, you're going to have to get out of there pretty quick.
Yep.
Yep, they're large. These people are roughly the same. Well, they are the same size as you. And there were some there. Just better angle this way.
Yeah, so we want to head in, go right, check out the boxes to the right, check out the boxes in the middle, if we can, without touching anyone, and then get out of dodge.
And I didn't make note of it, but did we note what condition those crates are in? It's been however long.
Didn't really stop and look.
No. Okay.
So would you cast fly on one of my characters and then float on the other? Would that be the idea?
Why don't we just cast fly on them both and let them fly? Oh, I see, yes, the flying one can drag the floating one down.
Yeah. Save power points.
Just be aware, I think it's only fair as the GM to mention, you can hear the wind in the background. It is quite windy outside.
Fly's a good idea.
Fly then.
There's only one PowerPoint difference between float and fly for me.
Right.
All right. In terms of Tanya having a look straight down.
Yep.
There's a sort of pile of rocks, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. There is. So I'll save a lengthy description because Pete, Graham, and Giles heard it 3 days ago. I'll save a full description for when Askell and Jada are assuming you go out that way. But very quickly, yes, indeed. From what you can make out, Tanya, the tunnel that you're in looks like it probably went further, but it has collapsed, and a huge chunk of stone, massive chunk of stone, has come down. And from what you can make out, peering as safely down as you can, a lot of that massive chunk of stone is at the base of this cliff. You're approximately, give or take, 700 foot up. About 300 foot straight down is almost sheer stone. You think it's where this chunk of stone came off. After 300 foot, it's a bit more jagged and a bit more rough. But yes, there is a pile of rock, and you could probably, once you're down on that pile of rock, you could scramble down to the floor of the valley.
And would fly spells take us that far?
I have crunched the maths, and yes, 1,400 feet.
Great. So they could decide to just go to the. I think they'd aim to go to take cover, so they can't be seen by the little people on the horizon. Not that they will be noticed that.
The little people on the horizon are many miles away. Many miles away. You think as much as, depending, it's hard to judge, but another perception roll might give you more information, but certainly probably minimum quarter of a day's walk away, maybe even as much as half a day, depending on the terrain. The other thing to note, the valley, I didn't mention before, but I should have. There are some chunks of rock, so the valley doesn't so much split. It continues one valley, but there are chunks where there's a chunk of rock and it bifurcates slightly and then comes back up.
And is there
Right.
snow on the
The other
bottom?
thing to notice is you've got 700 meters down, and then you've still got 7 more 100 meters of feet of your fly spell. So you can zip down and then look around for a place that's sheltered from the wind and maybe, a little cave or something, rather than stumbling around on the rocks. So you've got lots of space to do some looking and seeing if you fly.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. And is there snow down there?
Not San. You can't see settled snow. No, it's flurries. Maybe in a few places there's a few shallow drifts. The snow is coming down. You can even see it looking out the door. Those white flecks are meant to be snow, but it's not settling. Not settling significantly.
All right, I might head for a shallow drift. Okay, well, I think Tenny would look out over the shelf and try and pick out a place on the side of the rockfall furthest away from the people, or rather, in the lee of the wind, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Whichever way the wind's going, and then sort of intention to fly down there, and if she can see a drift of snow down there, then she'd head for that.
Okay. Give me a perception roll, please.
And then I'll explain that to the others so they know where to go. 41 plus 85.
Cool. And give me a D100 roll, please.
13.
Sorry?
13. 1-3.
13. Perfect. Not only do you see it very clearly, and the location that you described is absolutely perfect. So to one side of the lee, out of the wind, away from you and the other side of where the people are, which is to your right, there is what appears to be a perfect landing spot, and it appears to be a bit of a hollow. Some snow has settled there, perhaps it's out of the wind or any other rain or whatever around, and there appears to be quite a bit of snow there. It's perfect. It's exactly what you wanted.
All right, I should take some time explaining that back to the others in terms of where would she intend to go. Now, can spells be cast through this portal? Answers on a postcard.
I don't think we should risk it.
No.
But was Jada was gonna go not be part of the raid on the crates, right? Is that right? Just to save the healer?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, perhaps if she could go through and then could cast, because she can cast Fly on Tanya, is that right?
No, just myself.
Oh.
Can I carry someone if I'm flying? Can I carry someone, or?
If you want to try to hold on to them, good luck.
Oh, you just dropped like a stone, do you?
Nicholas would volunteer to go through because he's less physical than anyone, I think. If
Eskel can do the spell casting. If you want.
you're to try and do it through the yellow, or because once you go through, I suppose it's.
Well, not sure if it'll work.
Would probably better not to do it through. I mean, if time is being bent through this thing, it seems unlikely. Probably might be a waste of points. But I just wonder because Jada, you're quite strong though, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Because if someone's going to come through, it would be handy, for them to be able to cast on other people. Or Tenny just comes back and goes back again.
Well, Nicholas can come through and he can cast on other people.
And then he may as well go, and then just wait. That would make the most sense, right?
Yep.
All right.
Happy for him to do that if that's. Yep.
Okay.
Does that suit everyone? Because I think it would be good to have Askel doing the crate carrying, personally, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's all right.
And more than just muscles, and brains too.
and good looks.
And good looks. And a cutlass. Yeah, okay, well, Nicholas will propose that he can go through. If everyone's happy with that. His next question is, should he try jumping over the words, or I think he could just walk over it. I think.
Difficult
I
to know.
agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just think someone's going to. Those maneuvers were yuck. You know, not everyone's is going to be able to make those maneuvers. Better to find out now than in a hurry. So Nicholas will walk over the.
Okay.
We'll go through the yellow door, which involves walking the whole way.
Okay.
If that's. Yep.
So, Nicholas, you get up to here, and you, of course, aren't in Tanya's head. But absolutely, as you come up to this yellow strip, boomf! There's something there. And you almost you push into it, and it kind of almost kind of gives like some kind of elastic something, barrier, force, whatever it is in front of you. If you want to try to push through, please make what I'm terming an arcana roll, if you remember, which is all 3 of your magic stats, bonuses, or resistance rollers, I should say, added together, and then divided by 3. Give me a roll, please.
Yep. He rolled a 76.
And what level are you?
He's 8th.
8th. Similar to Tanya in front of you, Nicholas, you push your way through, and it is, there is definitely there is resistance, but you force your way through with relative ease, actually. On the other side, a couple of things for you, Nicholas. The very first is suddenly, dramatically, it's been definitely colder in this tunnel, but it is definitely windier and colder here, and you pull the furs around you and shiver. It was cold back beyond directly here when you were here with your friends, definitely colder on the other side. And then, yes, curiously, and it's this kind of horrible sensation, you look down and your fingernails, which have been long over the last, call it, you haven't actually been in this complex a great deal of time. You moved through relatively quickly. You did wait about half an hour for Yotto to decide that he didn't want to go swimming again, but you haven't actually waited or spent a lot of time here. But you did notice previously that both your hair, your beard, I don't know if Nicholas grows a beard, but are definitely longer, and your fingernails are longer again since crossing over. Yeah, and you feel just a bit peculiar.
Yep.
But you're on the other side, and you see the sights as described out this door, and I'll wait until others cross to re-describe it.
Cool. Thanks. He will offer to cast Fly on Tanya if now's the right time, or he will wait until the right time. Happy to be directed. Oh, he'll pass on how he feels and note what he notes about his fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
Here. That's you, Graham. Does Tanya want flying?
The 3 of you to fly down.
Oh, yes, please. Sorry. Shall Severin come through first, or?
Yes.
Yep, sure. And actually, Nicholas might stay at the top, and as soon as he sees other people, he'll cast Fly on himself and be ready to go down. But otherwise, he's happy to wait at the. You know what I mean? Can be a bit of a point of relay. Yep. So he will. Yep. If Severin's coming through.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat, please, Severin. Give me a roll.
I think might be an idea as people come through, actually just make sure they don't stumble. Don't we think we should? I'm just wondering if there's a risk there. So having seen Nicholas come through, she might suggest, Nicholas, hey, should we just make sure they don't fall, or if they,
Ready to brace. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. 10 in preparation for that.
10. Okay. And what level are you, please?
10.
10.
And I've got an average of 14. Plus.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's not, well, it really all depends. Really does all depend. Can you please roll a crit on yourself? Give me a roll, please.
38. 38.
Yeah, got it.
No.
Yeah, so there is in your head and in your body and just everything about you, Severin, is just pain. And you attempt to force your way through this barrier and you bounce back. There is an absolute horrendous shock through your head, and your nerves seem to be on fire, and your everything about you is just unpleasant. You must parry for 1 round, and you take 5 hits. That hurt. It hurt quite a lot, and you haven't pushed your way through.
All right. Well, he'll parry for 1 round and then try again.
Okay. Give me a roll, please.
45.
45. You are 10th level.
14, I think I said. Is it 14?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this time, better luck, and maybe second time lucky or whatever. Severin, you screw up your courage, screw up your face, and force your way through this barrier. This elastical kind of barrier in front of you. You're through. And again, the same effects as suffered by Nicholas, or same effects noticed by Nicholas. What happens now?
Well, I take a moment, I guess, just to feel good about the world, and then be ready to receive Nicholas's blessing. I think we might Severin might just take a moment and actually rope, just in case of problems. Might just put a rope between him and Tanya.
Okay.
The hell of it.
Sure. You like your ropes?
And just looking out, do we think the wind will? Yeah. It's difficult to know, isn't it?
The wind is not it is not a gale. It's definitely not a gale. It's not a light. It's kind of in between a moderate and light wind. A moderately light wind is probably the way to go.
All right. Severin will offer his hand to Tenya.
Okay.
Tenya scowls at him but takes it anyway.
Okay, great. What happens?
Nicholas will prepare for 2 rounds each time and cast Fly.
Okay. Who are you doing it on first?
We'll do it on Tanya first.
Give me a roll.
Oh, he'd like to take a couple of steps away from the yellow thing.
Okay.
He'll just not right to the edge, but not wanting to cast spells really close to it.
Yeah. Okay.
24.
24. The spell goes off. Tanya, you can now fly. How long does that fly spell last?
8 minutes.
And how far can she go?
This is a lofty bridge one, 75 foot per round, so that's 3,600 foot.
Wow. Okay.
Blimey. Did a few laps in the mountain.
Yeah. And 2 rounds later on Severin, please.
Roll a
62.
62. That spell also successfully goes off.
Ooh. So Nicholas's plan is to watch them where they go down, but he might, and he'll just discuss, and he might stay up here to just watch that they make it down safely, and just to watch what's happening in the corridor, basically.
Sure. Right.
And sort of, if he, yep.
Severin and Tanya, what happens?
They believe they can fly.
They believe they can fly.
So they would like to just take off.
Stepping out into the
No,
abyss.
no, take off first.
Take off first. Yep. 1,
Very easy.
2.
And then to go down. Now, as they drop down,
Yep.
I guess Severin would like to look back at the wall that they're travelling down in case there's any other entrances.
Yep. Sure.
Whereas Tanya, leading the way, will be focused on where they're going, which is that patch of snow.
Yeah, cool.
But as she goes down, she wants to...
I'll take that offline. I'll have a conversation separately. So you and I have a chat independently. All right. Cool. Nicholas, you see your companions head over the edge. 3 remain in the tunnel. What happens?
We'll wave goodbye to Nicholas. Nicholas. And the 3 of us will head back into the room with the butterflies.
Okay. Interesting. Can I please ask both Pete and Graham to exit the channel, and you guys can have a wee chat, and let's discuss what happens in here. That's 1. That's 2. All right. Tell me what happens for the 3 of you, please.
I'll draw my giant fairy swatter.
Yeah, I don't think we want to draw weapons, do we? Just in case. Although we want to have hands ready for something. Yotto has a magic dagger if we need it. Does anybody else have weapons? So he'd want to make sure it's close. You've got you've got a pulverizer, haven't you, Stara?
Oh, my Blaze Fury.
Yeah, Blaze Fury. Essentially, when we came, just so you guys know, when we came through this room, they totally ignored us. Unlike when we were in the other large room where they looked at us and said our stuff.
Yeah.
So these flankers completely and absolutely ignored us. We didn't touch one or walk through them, and they didn't walk through us, but they completely ignored us. Couldn't hear them speaking. They looked like illusions. Has anyone got a spell called Presence, or a way of seeing if they're real or not?
No, I think that was Nicholas.
Never mind. Okay, in which case, I'm going to suggest that what the 3 of us do, you're making me a little bit seasick, Chris. Can you? Yeah, I'm going to suggest what we do is enter the room, head left, be careful to avoid people, go to the first set of boxes, see what sort of condition they're in, see if the lids are open, and what we want to do is look for stuff. And unless you guys think differently, I reckon we should probably stick together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
eyes and ears.
If they immediately have a go at us, I think we should just bail quick as we can. And if they start to look interested in stuff, then I guess we can stop and talk to each other about what we want to do. But what do you guys think? I don't really want to take on a room of flying aliens.
Yeah, sounds good. Bug spray.
Bug spray. That's right. We've got bug spray. All right, should we do that, team?
Oh no, it's facing us.
It's got like a...
Okay, that's your plan. GM knows your plan. Can I please... one critical thing is I currently have Yotto with a lantern. Can you make any changes to that? Or is it a lantern or is it a torch?
It's a lantern. Does anybody else want to have something lit? Because if it goes out, it's going to be pitch black.
I can as a spell, a light spell. It's only 1 power point.
Fine. Well, in that case, let's not. Should we do it now, or should we do it if it goes black?
Let me just check. I was gonna, yeah, I still need to prep for it. Well, it's not an instantaneous spell, so I'd need to.
How long does it last?
Nearly an hour and a half.
What do you reckon,
10
Sarah?
minutes. 10 minutes per level.
And what does it do? Does it just make you glow like the sun?
Projected light, so it's like having your own torch, but you can put it on either in your palm of your hand, or you can put it on I did it previously, I put it on my sword, so yeah, you can make it look
Oh, okay. So if you
like a
you want to put it
lightsaber
on,
if you want.
you can just hide it.
Yeah. You could put it inside a lantern, really, if it had shutters and you'd the light, but yeah.
Okay, I think it makes sense to cast it, yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy. And
Maybe something good in these crates. Nervous.
Tell you what. There
Lion
might be
red,
death
double
in this
round.
crate.
What?
Crits.
Sorry, what was that, Anthony?
In the crates, it could be light.
Oh, no.
It could be lion red or double brown in the crates.
Oh, maggots.
Not sure we'd be that lucky. But, you know.
You
Are you
cast...
going to cast that spell, Anthony?
First, I'll do transcend armor.
Mm-hmm.
88 plus my quite a lot, so that's definitely a pass.
No, not necessarily. Can you, just to double check, 88 plus... What, sorry?
75.
75. No,
100.
you are good. You are good. That's cool. Yep. Transcend armor's good. And casting the spell,
Projected light. Whoop.
you prepare 3... well, what's the roll?
I got a 14.
14? 14. 14. Okay. So...
That was on a 1 to 5, I believe.
No, normally fails on a 1 or a 2. However, that is a spell failure. And your power points are lost. And can you please roll a spell failure roll?
What's going on here? Got a 20.
20. Cool. Well, there we go. Oops. 2. Just coming. Cool. So, yeah, real strain to cast the spell, and you lose the spell. And normally you wouldn't, however, have lost the power points, but on this occasion, you have.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll just, click the old fingers like, come on, spark it up, and I'll try again.
How much is fly? Anthony, how much is fly? How many power points?
3.
Oh, okay. And you've got like 30. Well, now you have 29 power points, so you've got tons. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Try again.
I'm on
Candle.
24 power points. So now I'm down to 23.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I still think we've got plenty.
Yeah. Okay. And I transcend armor again, Chris? I can't remember. Is it every
you do.
spell?
Yeah, every spell. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Transcend again.
Mm-hmm.
77 plus 75, 102.
Yep, you are good.
And now the actual spell.
Mm-hmm.
57.
57. The spell goes off.
Lightsaber sounds.
Hang on a sec. So it'll just take me a second to do this. Clone. Bump. That's cool. Bump fart. Bump. And bump. That's cool.
And Eskel would have placed it in the palm of his hand.
Sure thing. Yep.
Yep.
Hang on, Anthony, you're going to need both of your hands to do rummaging potentially. Can you like put it on your shoulder or something? So you can be hands free.
Forehead.
Read out the description of the spell, please. I'm not sure if you can do that, to be honest.
1 minute. Projected light. Light law. Project light. Beam of light like a flashlight springs from the caster's palm.
Yes, so.
Yeah, well, that answers that question fine. All right, you know what we're going to do, Chris. Let's go see what happens.
Cool. So, again, for at least for you, Giles, but I'd like everybody, please, to make a light maneuver based on either your agility, if you don't wear armor, or you're moving an armor skill if you do wear armor, to move through here. There are a number of these beings around you, and as you can see, some are moving. You saw that one moving around, and there are wings flapping, etc. It's basically just to duck through without touching any of them, unless anybody's got unless somebody's feeling comfortable about touching them.
No, we want to avoid them.
Okay.
90 for me, plus 13.
Just 1 second, please. Just a sec. Give me a chance to set this up. So we will take a set of light maneuver. What was the roll, please?
96.
Roll again.
$24.
It's 24 plus your agility. Thanks.
13.
It's 13. Cool. Yeah, well and truly. Yotto, you move through here, absolutely no issue, and with such a good roll, you tell me where you want to place yourself.
So he'll be behind the boxes in the middle, essentially, so he can kind of, work his way through down them from right to left.
Great. Cool. Let's go for Jada. Light maneuver.
Rolled 17. What do I add to it?
Your agility.
Oh, 18. Plus 18.
Plus 18. Okay. So... yeah, Stara, you're following in Yotto's footsteps, and this one here is actually kind of flitting around, and it's being quite... and you can see it there. It's doing basically that, but it's not flying in a set pattern. And obviously you're doing your best to kind of duck and weave out of the way, but there is a chance that it's going to fly into you, or you're going to walk into her, or it. You have a 60% chance of avoiding that happening. If you roll 60 or under, you're fine.
Sure. 60 or under.
Hello.
Oh no!
What's the roll?
80.
80. Okay, interesting.
Oh, yes. No, it is
Not-
18.
Uh-oh.
So this thing here, we're just doing it simply in order, so I'm assuming Askel is following in single file behind, so I'm assuming Askel's here. Basically, exactly that. You walk through, and Jada, your your shoulder manages to tangle with that one of this creature's lower wings. And if you look at this thing, it looks quite benign. It's wearing quite a fetching outfit and appears humanoid and reasonably friendly. But it suddenly jolts, and its head spins once, twice, all the way around its body, very, very fast, and then it just fixates on you, Jada, and it smiles. And the smile is wrong. The smile is too big, Jada. The smile is absolutely not right. Its face is only here, if you can see the GM's face, but the smile spreads out wider than its face, and its teeth are fanged and pointed, and its face morphs and shifts, and this thing snarls at you, Jadar, and I would like you, please, to make a resistance roll. An Arcana resistance roll.
Oh gosh. I'm out of here. 41.
41, hold that, please. If you do the calculation on the Arcana skill, please. If you haven't already, which is add your 3...
Plus 30.
Okay, plus 30.
Mhm.
So that's...
Do you mean add channeling essence mentalism?
Add together, the bonuses add together, divide by 3.
I'll divide by 3, 10.
10, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It is plus 10. Okay. What level are you, Jada?
9.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you the number you have to beat, or do you just want to roll the dice and see?
Oh, tell me.
Tell you. So with your plus 10, you've got to beat a 48.
+44 plus 10.
You rolled a 40.
So just,
You've rolled a 44.
yeah, and I add 10 to it, eh? So 54.
54.
Nice work.
Well, he hasn't said anything yet.
He could have said it interesting. That would have been worse. It's always-
yeah.
So
Oh, this is why I hate going first.
it snarls
You're brilliant.
at you, Jada, but you feel some force trying to get inside your head.
Not again.
It isn't a friendly force. It isn't kind. It isn't nice. Doesn't wish you well.
Mm-hmm.
But you manage, maybe perhaps based on past experience, you manage to drown that out. You manage to just make that not happen. You manage to just forget it. And you're free to act. What do you do?
I'm going to say to the others, run. I think they're demons.
Okay, you say that.
I
and
assume they've seen me bump, but just in case there's any doubt.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you
Run.
say that, and I'll give you any action as well. Any action you do, Jada. So you say that, and then do you have an
Start
action?
backing away. Straight towards Askell, so I
Cool.
don't bump any others.
Okay, Askell, it
But
is your
when I
it
touch
is
them. Run.
it is your turn. What do you do? We might go into rounds at this point.
Okay,
No, not quite. We'll do Askell's move.
Noting Jada's looks like she's freaked out and she's saying, go back. Eskel will definitely just stop dead
Mhm.
in his tracks and not proceed any further and just maneuver out of the way to allow Jada and then just signal to Yotto, like waving, calling with his hand, like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I will
No
be
good.
watching them.
What? Sorry. What is your?
I'll be here. I'm watching this. Yeah.
Okay. Any other actions other than signaling to Yotto, Askell? Jada, I've moved you to the mouth of the tunnel. There is this one very close by you. Do you stand there, Jada, or do you keep moving?
Keep moving, please.
Okay.
Just walking. Yeah, away.
Okay.
As an abandoned mission.
Okay, sure thing.
Chickened out.
Okay, just keeping on moving. Yotto, you've seen Askell here. What are either Yotto or Askell doing or saying?
What condition are the boxes in, Chris?
Condition of the boxes look old, mouldering, decaying. Easily to tear
I see.
apart or pull apart.
Okay. Look, that's what he's going to do. He's going to carefully try and move the lid off the first one and work his way along.
Okay.
Essentially, what he'll do is he'll keep an eye on the fly things, and when the lid is sufficiently moved, he'll look inside, see if there's anything, and if there's nothing, move on, and if there is, he'll obviously take a closer look at it.
Sure thing. Askell, what are you doing? You've seen Jada retreating behind you, glancing over your shoulder. Jada is retreating down the corridor. Jada, you've got to here. You can see daylight at the end of this corridor.
Yeah, Askell would like to probably take a step back, just to be on the edge of the corner, so he can see the pretty fairy and also the ugly fairy. Was right.
Okay.
And obviously eyes on Yotto.
Okay. So Yotto, you describe your actions, please.
So the very first box on the right, what he's going to do is, whilst keeping his eyes on the butterflies, he's going to use his hands to. He's going to put the torch down, so he's got his 2 free hands, and he's going to use them to gently move the lid. And once the lid's moved sufficient that he can see inside, he'll pick up the torch and take a peek and see what he can see.
Okay, sure thing. So, Yotto, you do exactly that. And as soon as your hand touches and you kind of pull away some of the box, and you get a glimpse of what's inside, suddenly there's a noise. And this thing here oops. This thing here's head snaps around, and it's staring at Yotto. This creature here also turns and stares at Yotto. This one here has, and I can't move it with ease, this one here, Askell, you've noticed, has changed its flight pattern and is now up in the corner of the room.
What do I see in the box, Chris?
You see what looks like an amp. Is it pronounced amphor or ampa? Amphor for wine.
Oh, very nice.
How easy will it be for me to get it out?
Okay. Any actions from you, Askell?
No, just that I did mention before we started the game offline that I thought there might have been champagne tonight. Ta-da!
You'd have to reach into the box. You'd have to rip more of the lid off and reach into the box to do so, Yotto.
Have any of these they've done anything else, these creatures? I'm being looked at by one, and one's floated up to the ceiling.
No, being looked at by 2.
And move the lid of the second box.
Okay. This one here takes a step closer, points its fist at Askell, and says a word. At Yotto, and says a word. Ooh. That's the 0. Okay. Okay. Yotto, what level are you, please?
8.
8th. Cool. Okay, and what is your and have your Arcana skill ready? Do you know? Sorry, it's 4. Great. Give me a roll, please.
Oh, exclamation RD 199. That's a mistake. 71.
71. Yotto, there is a feeling of horror, deep horror inside you. Something horrible is wanting to get inside your head. It isn't friendly. It wishes you ill, and it wishes you to stay here forever. You are not welcome, but you manage to stave it off.
I'm not welcome, and they want me to stay here forever. That's weird. Did I get the lid off this box?
You do.
What's inside it?
Amphors, as described.
Are they like little or huge?
Big.
So not easy to carry or move.
You could carry one.
I'm going to pick up my torch and leave.
Okay. Haskell, any actions from you?
I would really just be keeping an eye on the fairies that moved, the fairies in and around Yotto, and then the ugly one really close to me. Just watch, poised, scanning the using the projector light to spin around and assist Yotto.
Okay.
Without blinding him.
Jada, you're now at this intersection. Do you continue go towards the light, Jada, or do you stay there?
Well, it's not coming after me, but I'm terrified. And if I stay in that corner and just guard, looking left and right, making sure nothing else is coming in.
So you can see
I really don't like demons. I only just got rid of one.
So you can see down the corridor, down towards where Nicholas is, down at the far end, some distance away. And you can also see, you can't see Yotto, of course, but you can see Haskell.
Great.
Yotto, just as you decide to leave, something happens. You, Haskell, and Jada hear a sound.
Mr. Whippy?
Sound of a very angry sounds creature, and you're beginning to see Yotto, only you at this stage, you're beginning to see flickers of light from down this corridor.
Get up and bail. I'm going to flat stick run out the room and yell at the horse to run away.
Okay. So if you're running, Yotto, your difficulty, I'll just switch that down a bit, that's a bit loud. If you're running Yotto, the difficulty changes from being a light to a medium, just to let you know.
Can you put that in some kind of context for me? So by running, I'm going to double the rate at which I leave the room.
You are, but you're not taking as much care, which means your chance of... here we go. So it's an all or nothing roll. To get 100% success where you're safe on a light, you've got to roll better than a 76. To achieve that on a medium, if you're running, it would be... what is that? 116.
And I guess you'll walk.
Walk?
Well, what's the consequences of failure?
I don't know. Let's find out.
And it's fine. What's the distance? No, let's not find out. What's the distance between where he is and say where Haskell is?
Not far.
Because he's got long legs. He can cover lots of movement. Like his movement's 75.
40 foot.
So
42 foot.
Okay, so he'll walk.
Okay. Give me a roll, please. All or nothing. If you fail this, you will bump into one of these things, as Jado did.
24.
Sorry?
24.
2-4?
Yep.
Okay. And what is your agility, please?
13.
That's 13. Not a great roll. You have exactly the same result as Jada. You need to clear 60%, otherwise you accidentally touch one of these creatures.
So 60 or below?
60 or below.
43.
43, you're safe.
So you move to 75.
This creature here begins to move over in your direction, and its companion here starts swiveling its head towards Haskell and Yotto. What do you both do?
Run. We'll just take off. We'll run around the corner, make sure Jada sees us, and we'll nick it.
Okay.
Yep. Great.
Okay.
We'll
Oops.
scoot Jada up the...
Oops, a daisy. Okay.
I actually think we want to leg it, not nick it, don't we?
Yeah. Okay, the two of you plus Jadar, who's currently left alone in the dark.
Well, we will have scooped her up along the way.
No. She's left alone in the dark on my map. It's fine.
Oh.
Okay, and you belt it down to down the corridor. Jadar, you're there as well. I don't quite have you. Where are you? There you go. Yep, the three of you run down. Can one person please come back and get... jump into the other room and get Nicholas. We're leaving poor Graham by himself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Giles has got it.
Cool. Hello, Nicholas.
Hello.
So, Nicholas, you suddenly see Jadar in the lead, and then Askell and Yotto running full tilt down the corridor. You first saw Jadar. You may not have been able to see her, actually, because it's quite dark down there, but you see the three of them run fast out of the dark down towards you. Any actions from you, Nicholas? You did say you were preparing.
As soon as, so just to be clear, he'd watched Tanya and Severin fly all the way down, hadn't he?
Yes, he had.
Yep. Sort of peeking over the edge. So then he'd be preparing and turn his sights down to call. As soon as he sees someone coming, he'll cast fly on himself.
Cool. Give me a roll.
Yep. 55.
Sorry?
55.
55. Fantastic. The spell goes off. You can now fly.
Oh, and then he's got the same spell as Tanya and Severin, so he's feeling comfortable about the amount of fly time he's got. Mm-hmm. He'll wait and help anyone through the barrier, try and stop them from running over the edge, sort of a thing.
Okay, cool. These three characters get up to the edge. What do your three characters do, please? Or what? Let's start with Askell for a change. What do you do?
I think Askell will just say to Nicholas, will shout through and just say, "Hey, wasn't safe. We need to get out of here." I guess we need to have a powwow whether we're all stepping through. I assume we would be. Bit of a conflab with Jada and Jotto.
Oh yeah, I'm going through. No more demons for me.
I'm just going to bail on through.
Okay. Who wants to give me a roll first, please?
I'll go. I'm super scared.
Okay.
62.
62. What level are you, please?
9.
9. Cool. And what is your... no, actually, that's sufficient. So, Jada, exactly the same. I won't belabor what happens, but yes, you feel this very strange kind of force in your head, but almost like pushing through a layer of glad wrap or pushing through this invisible barrier. You force your way through, and yes, you're through successfully. Next person, please.
Yep, Askell, go.
Give me a roll.
+61.
61. And what's his Arcana?
+11.
+11. Success for you too. Now, Askell, some things happen for you, and I'll describe for you in a second what they are, but you are successfully through. And then, lastly, Yotto. Give me a roll, please.
Oh, bugger. 100.
100. Don't bemoan 100. You can roll again if you wish, but fair to say...
You missed the R, Charles.
I wanted to save that for combat.
Sounds like you need to roll again, Giles.
No. I'm through, aren't I? It's fine. Let's keep going.
What's that?
I'm gonna save the extra roll for combat, irrespective of what I roll first time round.
Did Askell, was that Anthony? Was that a dud roll?
No.
It was. I thought you said you missed the R. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought he did. And I was like, oh, no.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
put my glasses back on.
Yotto, you are through, and I think I'll describe the scene when we're all when you're planning to be all together. What happens now, please? Oh, no, actually, could. Hang on, let me just think. Give me 1 second to just think this through. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Could you ask Graham to join us, please? Because I'm going to give a description of what these characters now through on the other side see and experience. Can someone jump in and grab him? Thank you. Sorry for the long gap there, Graham.
Thanks, Mac.
So you aren't present to this, but I did want to describe what these characters are seeing and experiencing, and rather than me repeating it, you see your characters aren't there, but here we go. So you all step through and you all suffer the same kind of effects in terms of lengthening fingernails, hair is longer. However, a couple of different things. First and foremost, the sound of the cavern behind you fades, and it really is just all now about the wind, biting cold. Before I get on to describe the scene in front of you, something first for Yotto. Yotto coming into your chat now, and then into Askell now. Can you please remind me?
I think we can see the.
Oh, you
side?
can. Damn it! I thought I had switched that off. I could have sworn I had switched that off. I meant to switch the.
It doesn't matter. I'll be telling people anyway.
And Askell, this one here for you. Oops. So, and it's in your chat now, Askell. Just alter my little thing. I'll just give me a second to make an alteration in my little calculator thing. Right, so all of you feel slightly peculiar stepping through into the wind. Definitely all of you feel odd. There's something strange about the air, something unusual. It just something kind of not rightness here. Definitely for both, particularly Yotto, but also Askell, you are just feeling queasy, off, mildly feverish, almost headachy. But most peculiar of all and unpleasantly of all, you have this metallic taste in your mouth. That sensation of chewing on tinfoil. You remember how horrible that is? Just the taste of metal in your mouth, and things are not good for you. And as a result, you do suffer the penalties, I'm afraid, mentioned to all rolls. That is every single roll, every single spell roll, every single roll, I'm afraid, until mentioned otherwise. Other things. The first thing that hits you, as mentioned to Severin and Nicholas before, is the cold. So it's chill up here, not quite totally freezing, but very, very cold. You did very sensibly stock up all on warm clothing before you left the Vale of Whitwell, before you left Rascaret. Previously actually down south, you got warm clothing. One note to self, I still have to figure out if you're wearing armor and you're wearing warm clothing, what does that do? If you're wearing normal clothes. So that would be Yotto, Jadar, and Nicholas, who don't wear armor. Your armor rank is now 2 rather than 1. It just means you're a little bit more cumbersome. It means that the robes that you're in are just, or the furs that you're in are just a little bit harder to negotiate. They're bulkier. You don't get as much protection. And I'll come to both Severin, Tanya, and Askell regarding your armor, I'm afraid, a later date. I didn't have a chance to do it now. It is cold. So warm clothing definitely protects you from a minus, with the exception, I'm afraid, of Askell. Askell, without the warm clothing that you have, you would be at your -20, which you had from your background option. However, with your clothes, you are at a -10. Sorry. You're not as incapacitated as you could be, because you did very sensibly stock up on warm clothes, but you are really feeling the effects of this weather. You wouldn't want to sleep out in this wind, if possible. You think you could probably freeze to death, and Severin, you've probably got some of the most experience of cold climates. This would be dangerous. Maybe not fatal, but potentially dangerous to sleep out unprotected in. At the very least, even if you didn't freeze to death, you certainly would not enjoy a good night's sleep. The sight that you see, and I'm going to assume that all of you probably poke your heads out of the door cautiously, out the door, is as follows, and this is the scene that you're entering into. So a bit of a description from me. So a way to kind of in my head of almost where you are, you're not there. So you're not standing in a white cloak, and you're not standing in a triangle niche. You're standing at the edge of a tunnel that's clearly went forward. Like it's not a sheer edge. It's been broken off. It's clearly went further along, but a part of the hillside has fallen away. But that's kind of the situation you're in. All around you is just bare stone, and it is very, very smooth. Here on this screen here, you can see these almost like bricks. There is none of that. It's just straight, smooth stone, and it goes down, as mentioned, 700 foot straight down. 300 foot down, as mentioned, the smoothness of the stone changes, and it becomes a lot more rough, and there's ledges and there's other things around. You would estimate that the smooth stone is where a chunk of the cliff came away a very long time ago, and the chunk of the cliff that you are suspecting is right down below you, and you think that patch of snow down there is where both Tanya and Severin said they were going to. In terms of what you see, you are looking across a valley. Its exact distance you don't know, but it's definitely at least a mile, if not a couple of miles in width. And these images don't paint the exact picture, but it is similar to this. There is snow on the ground, as you can see there, in places, but generally it's not settling. You are actually looking across the valley and down the valley to your left. You can see this strange massive circle many miles away, but you can see it in this open plain, and the valley opens out down towards this strange, very, very large, very, very distant circle. The rest of the valley, some images look a bit like this. It's probably not as sunny as that. It is overcast, grey skies, snow, flecks of snow everywhere. That's quite a good depiction there. So you're on one side of the valley here, looking across, basically. Some more images, a bit of this, and a bit of this. And this is probably the best kind of of all of the images, you are on this massive sheer cliff, pretty much like that. And imagine if that sheer cliff went almost down to the bottom, apart from the pile of rubble at the bottom. This rock in the foreground doesn't exist because, of course, it's one long valley. But that massive shelf of rock is quite a good depiction of where you are, and you're kind of right. You don't know what's, it definitely continues above you, looking up above you, and it definitely goes down the 700 foot as mentioned. A very, very crude depiction, just to help you, is this one. So there's this strange rock circle down here. So you're here, where the cursor is, and looking to your left, the valley widens out, and looking down to the left is this strange circle. Looking to your right, the valley does narrow and it winds quite a bit more, and there are places you can see where the valley bifurcates but then joins up again. So there might be a big slab of stone in the middle of the valley, or a huge chunk of stone, and the valley splits around it, continues on. And Tanya, who I'm assuming has the spyglass with her because you haven't said otherwise, told you that when she looked through the spyglass in this direction, she had seen movement and people. She had seen a lot of people. She had seen tents. She had seen some kind of structure down the valley. A long way away, as mentioned at the beginning of the game, at least a quarter of a day's walk away, or a morning, half a morning's walk away, if not a half a day or even a full day's walk away. They're a long way away. You're in absolutely no risk of being seen from anybody in that direction. With the naked eye, you're welcome for a perception roll, of course, but all of you are struggling to see much in that direction with the swirling wind. So the other thing you notice is the chunk of rock that you're on is definitely the highest point from what you can see immediately, and it does actually get the rock walls are less high in places, at least further along, but they're very jagged and rough and would be very hard to traverse. That was a very lengthy description of what you see. Does that kind of make sense? Are there any qualifying questions? Anything that's not clear about that description?
You mentioned the floor of the valley being pocked.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to thank you, Pete. Excellent. So some other things, might help if I read the rest of my description. It is, the scene is barren, desolate, and inhospitable. Even from your vantage point, you notice a lot of caves and hollows in the rock everywhere. Some appear to be no more than very shallow indentations, a few feet deep. Others appear to be somewhat deeper. Some seem small, no more than a person's head in width. Others are very large, large enough for several people to enter abreast. There are a limited number of gnarled, not on screen, but there are a limited number of gnarled and twisted trees and a few shrubs around. They all look pretty tortured and sickly and bent and twisted, and corrupted is a word that springs to mind. The other thing you note, and will note closer as you get down to the valley floor, assuming you get down to the valley floor, but you do pick out instances of here, is a number of slightly unusual coloured rocks. They're slightly different from the valley floor, and they have these, you probably can't see this yet, but these seams or flecks of the same metal colour behind you. There's that space of metal behind you, and it's yes, it's the same. The chill, that was the last thing. Yes, and the last thing to mention is the wind, as mentioned, is chill. It's cold, and at times it seems to almost whisper or to be speaking to you. It doesn't really seem like the most friendly places. Any questions or comments on any of that? Particularly for Jada or Eskel, who weren't here.
trying to remember the last friendly place we were in. I can't. I'm just.
Garrett was nice. Come on.
Oh, that was lovely. Yeah, we were sort of, a child of being accused of abusing children and women, and it was great.
All right.
Well, looks great to me. Looks like home where I grew up.
Yeah. Cold desert.
What about you, Askell?
Okay.
Looks nothing pleasant at all. Askell will now have a permanent frown and scowl.
There you go.
At least we won't run out of water. Look at all that snowy water.
Delicious. Okay, Severin and Tanya, can you both give me a perception roll, please? You were looking as you went down the cliff, and I meant to get to you separately, and I haven't.
17. And...
Yep. Yes, just 1 second. Just a sec. Okay, and what's the bonus?
80.
80, cool. And then the second roll?
100.
100, he says. Yep. Plus
85.
85. Cool. Okay. I will type something in your channel very fast. Right? Super fast. Where's my screen here? We can do it like that. Go to 7. Go into 7. Coming. There we go. Okay. All right. So back to the team at the top. Obviously, this is unknown to Severin. Nicholas, you see your companions running at pace. They've all stepped across the barrier. You've cast Fly on yourself. What happens now, please?
Nicholas will say, I'm flying, and I think we should all get down to join the others. I hope... Can what happened wait till then?
Yeah, so I'd suggest that that Jada casts Fly on herself, and we'd ask Nicholas if he'd be so kind as to cast Fly on me, or if Askell could, and then we'll make a little trip down to the floor.
Nicholas will ask if Askell can, because he's on down to 9 power points.
Yep, Askell do it. We're just a bit slower. We only move it 30 feet around, but we'll still.
We'll get down there.
I'm only 15 feet. Can I go first?
15 feet. How far does that get you, Stara?
No.
705 feet, Chris.
Okay.
Sorry.
Does it?
Yes, we've done the maths. It's half of 30 is 15.
Nice.
Okay.
Nicholas can cast Fly on Jada. He's got 1 fly spell left, if she feels more comfortable with that.
Oh, up to you. I can make it though, right? Shall I just try and roll first and see what happens? If I fail, I'll go with you.
Okay, so Jada,
I suppose the point is she can always recast Fly on herself halfway down if she needs more time. True. Yep. All good.
Jada, casting a spell. Give me a roll, please.
49.
49. The spell is successful.
Okay, I think I'll use my quarterstaff as like a broomstick just for laughs.
Excellent. You do exactly that. You're sitting on your quarterstaff. Now, do you go now, or do you wait for your companions? And do other people go now, or do you wait for your companions?
I think I'll be on it, but I'll wait. Yep, just to see what happens in case they fail.
Okay, sure. Who's next?
We're slower. I will do Transcendal and then cast it on Yotto.
Give me a roll, please.
Got a 91, so that's easily passed.
Plus 79, is that right?
Plus 75.
75. Okay, that is a pass. And rolling for the
And
spell,
then-
please.
Spell itself. I got a 2.
2, that is a spell failure. Roll the spell failure, please. Give me a roll. Be bad if you turn.
8.
Okay.
I think that's pretty good. I've got cold hands, man.
Yeah, you
Like
do.
fur.
Subconscious second thoughts causes caster to lose a spell, but not the spell points. You do lose a spell point, actually.
Alright. Spell point or points?
Well, however much it cost.
Okay. Yeah.
What happens?
He will try again.
So that's a transcend armor,
Yep.
which is
Hang on a sec. Oh, come on. Oops. Get a 5.
5. I don't know if this is open-ended, but plus your 75, that is a failure. So, Askell, you have the choice of either casting the spell with the penalty or doing something else.
No, he'll just shake it off, ask Yotto to blow on his hands to warm his fingers up, because clearly that's what's going wrong.
Yep.
And go, blow, bro, blow.
And are you casting
And then
now
we'll
at a negative, or are you casting, or
No.
are you transcend armor again?
Transient armor again.
Sure, give me a roll.
Okay. 48 plus 75, 110,
Passes.
120, 123.
Passes. And the spell, please.
Passes. Actual spell. 77.
77. That spell goes off. Shader can fly, Nicholas can fly. Was that on Askell or on Yotto?
Yotto.
It was on
Right,
Yotto. Yotto
so-
can fly. Lastly, Askell.
Eskel himself, transcend.
Yep.
11, 75, 86, so that doesn't work.
Nope.
He's not enjoying the cold, so he'll
No. Is
Rubbers.
there a penalty for transcend? No, you just simply get the. I think we've just played it. You just simply we played it as we are now, right? You get the choice of
Yeah.
proceeding or not. Yep, sure. Okay, so he pauses. Yep.
rubs his mittens together again.
Mhm.
This time it's 60 plus 75, 135.
135 minus. Yep, that does pass. So he can now attempt to cast the spell.
And then on the spell itself,
Mm-hmm.
got a 69.
69 dudes. That spell also goes off. All 4 of you are able to fly.
Holding hands, just like in Peter Pan. Let's go.
And can I just say, whilst doing that, waiting for the spells to go off, Nicholas would like to do a perception, if he can. He's looking specifically down on the ground, looking for any of the a cave, the cave that's closest to where Tanya and Severin are. Just want to get a read on it.
Sure. Give me both a perception roll and then just a roll.
Rolled 8.
Could be very good, could be very bad. Yep. And
Perception
what's
of-
this? Yep.
45.
Okay. And could you just give me a roll, please? One D100.
100?
Yep.
31. Middling.
31. Yeah, there is probably another 700-800 foot. No, not quite that much. Probably 100 foot. So if you're here, kind of that way, 100 feet or so, you're kind of peering out and down. You can just make out there's a curve in the canyon wall, the valley wall, and there appears to be a very large. It would be probably 6 or 7 people wide cave.
Oh, he'll just say that to everyone else and just note that potential for us to shelter in. That's all. And then he's good to fly. I think if we go in pairs, he'll suggest going in pairs because I suppose Jada and Yotto were ready to go before Askell, so perhaps they could go as two, and then
Yep.
Nicholas will wait and go with Askell, perhaps. Just not holding each other or anything, but just being buddies.
Mm.
And you leap out into the void.
Oh.
Some do.
Oh.
And then reappear again. And then reappear again. Gone.
Oh my.
Oh my. You head down, and this is this is the same description for Tanya and Severin. It's definitely windy up here. I mean, as described, it's cold. You're shivering with cold, and you move down. Jada, you're slower than your companions, but yes, you are sufficient. And Tanya's eyes were very good, and she spotted what was looked like an absolutely ideal place. It's somewhat sheltered, definitely away from prying eyes. There is a relatively accessible route. You can take down the pile of rubble down to the valley floor, but and as you get all of the four of you get closer, you see Severin and Tanya are well hidden. Well and truly hidden in this kind of little dell, whatever you want to call it, full of snow. And within, I don't know, I'm not going to do the math on the time. Is it 3 minutes? Is it 4 minutes? Whatever it is, you all very safely come down and land. You're now in that little dell, or that little hollow full of snow, and you're reunited with both Severin and Tanya. What happens?
Tanya asked, what treasure did he get?
Askell will say a headache.
Our lives were saved. That was the treasure.
What happened?
Well, I accidentally bumped into one of those flying creatures,
Oh yeah.
and then its head started spinning around, and then it went from looking nice to looking like a sort of like a Cheshire cat, giant smile, lots of scary teeth, evil, kind of like trying to possess my brain, and I was just out of there. I don't care what's in those boxes anymore after that. Those guys were much braver. They stayed a little bit, but I think we kept bumping into them. We're very clumsy.
Did you get a look at what was in the boxes?
Champagne.
Really?
I don't know, M4s.
M4s.
Huh?
That's the right word.
Oh, okay. No magical cutlasses. Damn. Again.
No, I said there would be champagne tonight, though.
You did.
Well aged champagne, I imagine.
Yes,
The best.
probably on the turn, I'd suggest, but
What we need is genies to pop out of those bottles. Save us.
they'll just kill us.
What happens?
So
Is there, I was going to say, Chris, on the way down, the other character was looking also for some potential firewood. You mentioned scrappy trees and things.
Very rare. Nothing immediate
Yeah.
around you, and very. They do exist, but really not much and not around you. Tend to be more.
Don't be looking at my quarterstaff. Now that I've used it as a broom, and it did really well, I've just added another name, Stick Shift.
Excellent.
So what is the full name now, please?
Blaze Fury, defender of the... No, hang on. Not defender of the dogs. Destroyer of the dogs and the fire, and defender of the people, and Stick Shift. Yes. You'll be tested on this later, so...
Excellent. Loving it. What do you do,
Amazing.
please?
Can we shove some snow in our water bottles?
You can.
Let's do that.
Your hands are now very cold, but you now have relatively full water bottles.
And then someone mentioned a cave.
So I'll just check. So this hollow is not a sleeping place. It's not sheltered enough.
No.
It's-
No. You I mentioned before you might freeze to death. You would certainly be. It would not a good place. Very well obscured from the rest of the valley floor. Perfect for your immediate need, but not a place to shelter. No.
Nicholas will mention he saw a cave to their right. That seemed quite large. Perhaps we could go and check that out. I mean, we probably can just about see it from where we are. No, maybe we're hidden.
No,
But
you are hidden. Yep.
Yeah, he'll gesture in that direction and say, we could go and check. We could ask Tanya to go and check it out, I guess, or all of us.
I guess let's all go, shall we?
Yeah.
I guess perception, though, just in case there's nobody scanning around, nobody watching us from anywhere, or,
Including above us.
wyvern check.
Okay, a couple of perception rolls.
80.
Sweet. Just a second. Yep. Who's doing this, please?
Tanya, 85 plus 85.
85 plus 85. 85 is a result of that. Okay. Okay, and one other person.
All right, Severin's quite good with perception. He's at 80. 5 plus 80.
Could be amazing. Okay. Where and what exactly are both characters looking for? You mentioned above you. What else are you keeping your eyes out for?
Well, taking in our new vantage point, checking there's no immediate danger, that we're not being seen, and also double checking for any potential firewood or caves.
Sure. So, firstly, scanning in, you're all looking around. Obviously, there is no sign of anybody around you. As mentioned, the image on screen is quite accurate, but the valley is wider than that. I think I've impressed on you. Not colossally wider, but yeah, definitely wider than that. In your immediate area, you don't see. And scanning around, you don't see any sign of anyone or any creature or any being. The twisted and gnarled trees are typically hanging from cliffs out of reach. There are virtually nothing on the ground. You do notice a couple of kind of wizened, shriveled, corrupted small trunks. Pretty miserable. You might get a couple of hours fire out of them if you were lucky, an hour perhaps, so you do find a little bit of firewood, but it's not good quality and there's not a lot of it. Caves, however, there are a lot. Some that you first think, oh, this looks interesting, actually just end up to be these relatively small scrapes. One thing you do notice around the caves is some of them look as though they've almost been burnt. Like the outer part of the caves, almost as though something hot has, perhaps a long time ago, somewhat blackened around the edge. And definitely now that you're on the grounds, every now and then you do notice these slightly unusual grayer rocks. A lot of you can see on screen, the color here is brown, so the hues are brown, but definitely grayer rocks. They look as though they don't necessarily belong. From around here, and they are either streaked with or flecked with that yellow metal as described. There are a number of caves, as mentioned, and yes, the one that Nicholas, you had your eye on, is definitely the largest close by. At least 4 to 5 people could probably stretch out their arms out, and it's that width and it's high as well.
Before we all pile in, probably like to check for occupancy.
How deep does it go?
Don't know.
Would someone like to give me a roll, please?
Yeah, I think Britannia would sneak up to it and listen. And listen again.
Okay.
You wanted a roll for
Too
cave?
late. Too late. I did it. Yes, I did it.
Oh, okay.
Too late.
I got 94.
Yep. All right. So she heads up and has a listen. Yep. Give me a roll.
97.
97. Sure thing. Yep. And plus 80, I think you said. Yes.
85.
85. Cool. Doesn't hear anything. It is, to be fair, it is reasonably hard to hear over the wind, and the crunch of all the crunch of your boots and things like that. But yeah, she doesn't think she hears anything.
She'll creep in cautiously, keeping to the shadows.
There's a lot of those. Overcast, grey weather. You, yeah, no, yeah. What does she pick a wall?
Stall.
A left wall? Yep. Left wall, right wall. It does not matter.
Well, whichever one is most convenient for her to stalk.
Left. Yeah, left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cover.
So you're going to your right, correct? That's my understanding.
Sure.
Yep. Cool. You give me a stalk roll, please.
75
Mm-hmm.
plus a lot.
Unmasked. Yep.
Plus 100. Hey, where is it? 159.
Cool. Now, terrain is tricky here. It's what's underfoot, directly underfoot. And by the way, you've moved away from the massive pile of rocks, so you come out of the massive pile of rocks, and you're moving right up the valley. So that as the valley narrows, progressively narrows, and you've moved some 200-300 foot away from this massive pile of rock at the base of where you came out, 700 foot above. Your companions are further behind you. You've gone up in front. You are quiet, you think, Tanya, but the terrain that you're moving through is not great. It's a mixture of grit and gravel and kind of in places some mud, but mostly it's stone or gravel, and it crunches underfoot. It is quite hard to walk quietly here. Walking on obviously just smooth raw rock, such as, walking along that, be quite easy. But you can see there, just in the bottom of the picture, you may be able to see in the bottom of the picture. Can you see? Let's have a look.
Presumably, though, it's quite noisy too, right?
Just there. There's a lot of that kind of stuff that you're traipsing over. And yes, as mentioned, yep, there is the sound of the wind. So she goes inside cautiously. It turns a very wide corner, which she follows round. Another wide corner, and just when she's thinking, hey, I better get some light in here, like her elven eyes are failing, after first turn in like that, turn to your left, turn to your right, and then another one to your left, it definitely gets a lot lower, and she could just make out the back of the cave, what you can see.
No dragons.
No dragons. So in total, it would be maybe, with a couple of curves in it, as described, it would maybe be 30 or 40 foot long hole into the hill.
That'll do.
It's
All right, I'll go back out.
very wide at the mouth, but it definitely narrows as you go in.
But it's out of the wind anyway.
Yes, it is out of the wind, definitely.
Okay. I'll go out and gesticulate
Okay.
to join them.
Unless anybody says otherwise, I'm assuming your companions join you and you head on inside. What do you do?
Well, we don't. We've no idea what time of day it is, right?
There's no real sign of the sun. No, you don't know.
What do you think? We haven't got any PowerPoints. Do we? How do we feel?
Cold.
Oh, happy to rest.
Sleepy.
Feels like we've had a long day.
Should we rest and have a
Running,
sleep?
Yeah.
running from the wind and all the rest of it. And I suppose it wouldn't hurt to go up the valley and if there's a bit of darkness, right? We might see some light.
Have a rest now, and if it falls dark after 8 hours, we can move up then, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've got a bit of firewood, but only for a bit. So we may as well, I guess, save it till it gets colder, right?
Sure.
Is it not cold enough now?
Well, it's probably going to get colder. Do we
All
estimate that it's does Severin estimate that we could sleep in this current cave?
Does anybody have any kind of survival skills?
Yep. Tanya does. She can track. She can forage.
Yosso's really good at playing Go. Have we got large pieces of wood?
No, I mean a general feeling in terms of I know how cold this is, so I know if I'm going to die, or if I know if I'm going to sleep.
Yep, sure. Give me a mass memory check, please.
I remember what cold feels like. 54.
54. Has been a while, a very long time since Severin has felt cold. Very long time. Been in the tropics for ages.
7.
Plus, what's his memory?
7.
7. I mean, Severin is thinking back to his childhood in the Cat's Tail of Tama, way up north, where it snows a lot. It's not definitely being out. Definitely being out for a long time in this wind would not be good. Certainly trying to sleep certainly staying put in this wind would be a really bad idea. You are sheltered somewhat in here. You would need to probably huddle together for warmth, but you don't believe, Severin, it's likely life-threatening.
Okay. Well, make ourselves. I guess we've got to get our sleeping gear out and put our, extra warm jammies on, and I suppose do the Emperor Penguin thing, and stick Yaskell in the middle.
Okay.
So Nicholas has got a couple of things he'd like to do before then.
Mm-hmm.
He would like to, with everyone's agreement, he would like to cast a first level spell on 5 people. So everyone apart from him, which is the store spell from Prosaic Healing.
Oh.
Mm.
Yep. So he will prepare 4 rounds for each one and cast that. So just do 5 first level spells. Is that all right?
Lessons learnt from last session, from other game pieces. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll come to that. The spells in a second. Yep.
Okay.
And then and then something else he wanted to do.
Oh, and the other spell was a 4th level spell to heat up Haskell.
Okay. So we'll come to the spells in a sec. Anybody else doing anything else that either needs a roll or just a bit of flavor for characters, and also watch? I'm assuming you're setting watches. The GM shouldn't give freebies like that. It's up to you to tell me if you're doing that, but I'm assuming you are because you guys are strangely paranoid.
We're getting to it. And also, before we set watch, just wondering if someone could do some attunement. A few questions. One, obviously, the item we've just found, the horny water thing. And then checking a rundown, please, of has everybody attuned the new items they have acquired? Cells.
So Yosho's only needs 4 hours sleep. He's a grey elf. So that would give, how long are we planning on resting for? 8 or 12 hours?
Well, enough for everyone to get 8 hours, I suggest.
Yeah.
So he only need 4, right? He can sleep for 4 hours and then he can attune for 8.
Sounds great.
That would make sense.
That's good. And then just a question: what's our status in terms of hits? And if Jada's got any PowerPoints left, does she want to expend them before she sleeps?
Nicholas is fine. Good idea.
We recover
Yes, we'll do a little bit of healing.
Severn's down.
We recover sleeping.
All of them.
And not hit points, I mean.
8.
Thanks. Yeah, Yotto is fine. Yeah, no, I think
Severn-
Yes, we'll do it a little bit.
Severn's down as well if there's some going.
Okay. So I'm going to go through each. I'm going to go through each character, and then if you're wanting to make either healing rolls or do anything else, we'll go through them. So we'll start with Nicholas. You wanted to cast those spells on each of your companions.
Cool. I'll do. Oopsies. So, with their permission, 4 rounds prep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no 1s or 2s.
No. Okay, no. So read me out the first result, please.
74.
74.
Sorry.
That spell goes off.
Yep.
Next one.
90.
90. That spell goes off.
23.
23. So that spell fails. It just simply doesn't work, and your power points associated with it are lost.
Okay, cool. Next is 92
92. That spell goes off.
and 45.
45. That spell also goes off.
Cool, thank you. So he hasn't cast it on. I was saying in my head going on alphabetical order, so he hasn't cast it on Yotto. He intends to in the morning.
Okay. Sure.
Just as a matter of sort of flavour, Nicholas would congratulate the people who are going to check through the boxes of a good choice to get out of there with your lives. That is definitely the prize. That is the treasure. He approves of running away. And just before we're ready to sort of, once watch has all been sorted and everything, but once we're ready to sleep, he would want to cast this heating spell on Askell, and then we can all huddle around Askell and get warmth off him, I guess. Shall I roll that now just for the...
Yeah, sure.
Yep. D100. Fingers crossed. 54.
54. That spell goes off.
Cool. I'll just read it. It's called Heat Cool. It's a 4th level spell. Allows caster to heat or cool target's body to lessen the severity of an injury and speed healing. The spell will be particularly useful to cool a fever or warm a victim of frostbite or soothe pulled muscles. So I assume that whilst our rest of our bodies are cooling down, his will be able to be maintained at a warm temperature. Or maybe I can even heat him past that, I don't know, and he'll at least be warm for... It's 10 minutes per level, so it's only 80 minutes, but it's a start.
Okay, sure. Okay, done.
Thank you.
Nice one, Pete. Okay, what happens next, please?
So
I was meant to go on each one. I'm looking at the people on my screen, so I'm going to go to Yotto. Anything you're doing, Yotto?
Right, so can I just check from a technical perspective, Chris? This horn that we picked up, do we need to find out if it's magical before we try to attune to it? Or do you just try tuning to it and see what happens?
You can try. You can just try. Yeah, you can just have a go. Sure.
That's what he'll do. I mean, Yotto will take his 4 hours on watch. He'll sleep for 4 hours and he'll spend 4 hours attuning. He can't really attune and be on watch, can he?
No, definitely not.
No,
No,
so
attuning is focused. Yes.
And so remind me how the tuning thing works. I know we've done this a few times. I apologise. There's an hour, 4 hours, and then like tons of time, isn't there?
Sure. Yep. 1 second. I'll just get the. And if in doubt, you guys do have copies of the rules, and I would encourage you to have a look.
Yeah, I'm a little disorganised just where I am. I apologise.
Sure. Okay, so if you spend less than an hour attuning, you have a negative 20. if you spend between 1 hour and 4 hours, you get +0. You get +5 if you spend more than 4 hours attuning. There, you get a -30 if the realm of the spell is different from the caster. -10 if the character doesn't know what the spell or ability is. +20 if you know what the spell or ability is. +30 if you can cast the spell intrinsically, as well as your attunement skill.
Okay, so I think Jada has a spell which lets you know what something's spell or ability might be. Is that correct, Jada? I think you've done this before.
The delving.
I can't remember what it is.
Let's find it.
And so does it? If you've got the PowerPoints and that's what the spell does, does that if the spell goes off, will that add this 30 to it, Chris?
Wasn't add the 30, but no. Well, I don't know. I'd need to know the description of Jada's spell. So I don't know.
All right.
Which one detects power, item feel, item's purpose, item's origin. If there's a curse, origin of its power. What are you attuning?
This is a horn.
Oh, that horn. Okay, so maybe, well, the first one is just what its purpose is.
How many PowerPoints have you got, Star?
That's just that's just 1 point. So I could try that at first.
Let's give it a go. If you've got lots of PowerPoints, give it a crack, I reckon.
Yeah. Okay, let's give it a roll.
You know, maximum prep, righty.
36.
6. Jada, so you're about to cast and just nothing happens. The spell just doesn't work, and your PowerPoint is gone.
Oh, it's a magic thing.
It doesn't fail. The magic was just never there.
Ooh, what is my powers? What do you call it? Prepare this time.
I'm assuming you prepared last time.
All right.
How many PowerPoints have you got, Janet?
30.
You give it another. We're about to go to sleep. Give it another go. If you've got lots of it.
39. Okay, so what did I not do? I waved my arms around.
Okay.
64.
64. The spell goes off. So the spell succeeds.
So this one is just the caster receives basic idea of its purpose.
Okay. Okay, some information will be coming into your chat, Jada, in just a second. And yes, I know you often will share it with the party, but I always put the information in because sometimes you may not want to share the information with the party. So just coming in to your chat in a second. So the description is it conveys a general meaning or a general purpose. Is that right?
Basic idea of its purpose.
Okay, coming.
Better not be an ornament.
In your chat now.
Ooh. Okay, so I'll share this with the group.
Okay.
The basic purpose of this horn is to allow people to drink from it, and they will gain powers. But be careful, guys, because it doesn't say what sort of powers. There could be a demon in there from past experience.
Should have taken that wine after all. It's I'm going to spend 4 hours and 1 minute attuning to it, and I don't know if this means I now know its purpose, so it changes the roll. You'll just have to figure that one out for me, Chris.
I have got another spell that's detect curse,
Yeah, I'm just going to have a go at tuning to it because then I'll know what it does.
Okay.
Curse would be a good idea.
Oh, you reckon go curse, Graham?
Well, if it was cursed, it would be the real.
All right, let's give it a go.
The first time I think it's happened where it's told me something useful. Okay, 14.
14.
That's lots of preparing. Yeah.
14, the spell fails. And I'd like you to roll a spell failure, please. Give me a roll.
40.
40.
Hmm.
Moderate mental lapse causes the caster to cast an ineffectual spell. 1 second. But not lose power points. You're lucky.
Phew. Okay. You guys want me to try again?
Yeah.
Okay, maximum preparation time
Sure,
and
yep.
another roll. Give it a go. 63.
63. This time, the same thing happens again. There is just no spell, Jada. Like, you go to cast it, you don't fail the roll, but it's suddenly like the before time, the time when you weren't in tune with magic and you didn't know how to cast magic. You didn't even know that magic really existed. There is no magic. So it's not the spell failed, it's just there is no magic. You don't lose the power point, though.
I'll try again.
Sure.
Total preparation.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? 23.
23. Same results, but this time you do lose the power point. So you just... yeah, it's not like you fumbled it, or you cocked it up, or you failed it. There is just no magic in that moment for Jada. There's just none. Yet somehow, a piece of your essence, a piece of your power points goes. Mark off the power points.
Okay, I'll try one more time.
Sure.
Preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Wave my hands around.
Mm-hmm.
And alakazam. 33. These are no good.
Same again. The spell does... There is no magic. And again, you lose the power point.
Okay, better stop.
We're about to go to sleep, right? You'll get all your power points back when you go to sleep.
Okay, I'll try again. One more time. Lots of preparation, waving my hands. 42. What's with these rolls?
42, spell goes off.
Oh, hallelujah. Okay, better be a curse or something.
What's the description of this? What's the description, please, Star, of the spell?
Detects if a curse is on an item.
Okay, cool. Something into your chats. Okay. A note coming into your chat. Where's Jada's channel? Where is Jada's channel? There's Jada's channel.
I assume that this is something that we can all see. We can sort of see Jadis being frustrated about the spell.
I can tell you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, frustrated. I say, well, I finally got the spell to work, but it just says there's no curse. It doesn't appear to be a curse.
Good.
Nicholas had a failed spell before, and he's going to just speak up and say, I think that this is due... I can't be sure. Don't hold me to this. I think this is going to be due to the proximity of the Lonely Tail, of the comet that's coming on day 0, which is the embodiment of cancelling magic and that sort of a thing. That's my guess.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
Take
we
your word
jumped
for it.
forward in time. Because we jumped forward in time, and we
jumped forward in time. So it's more, and this happened when we were in the ruins. Remember, there was 1 or 2 of our spells failed as well, so that might explain it. Can I just ask, Chris? We didn't notice the comet in the sky.
No, I mean that's the sky at the moment. You can't see anything.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, Nicholas will just pipe up to say that, just to put it to people.
Very,
I'm not
very,
sure
very
the-
thick storm clouds though, so you don't know what it is obscuring.
Okay.
We're still on Yotto. Yotto, are you still wanting to make your achievement roll?
Yeah, it's going to spend 4 hours and 1 minute attuning.
4 hours and 1 minute. Give me a roll with a +5 to the roll. Get just 1 second, please. Yep, give me a roll, please.
90.
90. It could be very good. It could be very bad. 90.
I only rolled high when it's you can't see, so that's right. We're doing something
And
useful.
what's his achievement skill, please?
57. And remember, he's -10 to all actions.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Whoops.
But all of the other stuff, you'll have to figure out the time.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I've got that. Cool. +57. Um, Okay. Okay. Some information coming into your channel, Yotto. Just take a moment or so. Coming, Yotto. Just gonna find the right channel and make sure that this is switched so you guys can't see. Okay. So you can't use it, but you do figure this out about it.
Okay, look, I'm not going to wake people up, and I'll tell them in the morning. Should I just let people know now?
Sure.
But yeah, so it's an ivory drinking horn with our nubile women on it. It's got a silver figurine stand. Basically, when liquids are placed in and consumed, spell-like powers are bestowed. If you pour water in, you have the spell Ecstasy. If you pour ale in, you have the spell Dream Girl. Mead, the Kiss of Coma. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Milk, Great Attention. Red Wine, Kiss of Slavery. White Wine, Master of Man. I particularly like the idea of the Kiss of Coma.
Wow.
What you got to do is fill it up and skull a lot.
Can you say what they are again?
I'm sure. I don't know how to copy and paste, but I'm happy to copy and paste this into the main chat.
I'll do it if that would save your job, Giles.
I appreciate it mostly because I'll mess it up and then probably destroy Discord for everybody. And you can only do it once every 24 hours. Oh, and it says the imbiber is considered 20th level for the purposes of the effects.
Whoa.
So Kiss of Coma, if you're a 20th level or something, might be quite nice, right? This could be kind of useful, especially if
We
we
should
find
Well,
Torvash.
well,
Right,
even if
someone
we
first.
found, if we could actually find and kidnap one TPP person, the slavery, for instance, might, well, we'd have to look up exactly what they do, but
Yeah,
you know, be useful to get some information, wouldn't it?
Mm.
really.
We could make them drink it, and then
Yeah, there's lots of things this could be used for once a day. This is kind of useful.
yeah.
Does
I can't use this, right? What I've managed to do is figure it out.
Correct.
But as of yet, I can't use it. I need to wait before I have another go at tuning to it. Or I guess somebody else could have a go at tuning to it now. Well, in the morning. Or who's next on watch after Yotto?
Okay. So we'll come to that question in a second. So going down my list, Askell, for this next little bit, what are your plans?
he would probably just want to stay rugged up. He's probably interested in the horn, asking Yotto if it would make hot chocolates or coffees as kind of its skill set. Yeah.
Cool.
I think he would just be feeling a little bit miserable and just you know, take me back to Shabibi and deserts and, you know, warm weather and
so
loose fitting clothing.
You may recall when we rolled up this character, Askell, and you rolled this background penalty of him being susceptible to cold. And the GM has mapped out certain elements of this campaign a very long time ago, and I just went, whoops. Sorry.
Dang.
Damn. Yeah. Jada, what are you doing in the next little while, please?
I want to put milk and have the great attention in that ivory horn. What am I doing? Gosh. What am I doing? Does anyone need healing? Did anyone have anything to heal? Askell?
Yeah, Askell a little bit. Was he on?
Should I just try a
Severin.
regeneration? Severin too?
Yep.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
line
not
up
much,
and I'll
yeah,
just
I need,
regenerate
like,
before I have a sleep.
10, so I don't need much. So don't.
Okay.
Severin's down about 25, is that right, GM?
Sure. So the tally is at the moment, bang on, Graham. 25 needed for Severin, Tanya full, Jada full, Nicholas full, Askell is down 10, Yotto is down 5. Yotto's will heal overnight, and Askell will gain 8 naturally, and Severin will gain 8 naturally, assuming you have a pleasant night's sleep, of course.
Well,
Oh, of course we
Askell
will.
would get 16 because he's got double healing.
16. Okay, cool.
Oh, so you'll be alright if you just have a sleep, but Severin needs something now.
Yes, please.
Here we go. Roly, prepare, 77
77. The spell goes off.
for regeneration.
Regeneration, sure thing. Healing spell. Regeneration. Severin, you are feeling remarkably better. Not that you were particularly down on hits, but you are now on full hits.
Brilliant, thanks.
Okay, Jada, are you doing anything else?
Reading maybe some brilliant spell list before I go to bed. Some nighttime reading.
Not much in the way. Well, no one has a light, by the way, at this stage.
No, Askell's hand does.
Oh, it probably still does, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might too. Okay. And moving down, Graham, your 2 characters for the next little bit.
So this may not work, but if Severin were to describe how the earbuds work to Tanya,
Mm-hmm.
that gives quite a bonus, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you can remember you can teach somebody to to learn an item. So, and you're gonna you can now. It takes D18 hours to do so, and that's full concentration. So you wouldn't be able to do it depending on if it's 1 hour, you're probably fine. But if it's 8 hours, you're out of luck. That gives Tanya a plus 75 to try to attune to it.
Okay. Well, can I see how many hours?
But modified by Tanya's attunement skill, which is presumably either poor or non-existent.
Non-existent.
Yeah. Well, and she'll have a negative, presumably. If you roll to see how long it takes, I guess you can always break it off at a certain point. Sure. So give me a D18 roll.
Well, I'll just put this to the party before we start. So I don't know what we're going to do next, right? But Tanya can well sneak ahead, obviously, with maybe if we get lucky and roll an invisibility spell. Only she can't speak Hebronic. So she wouldn't be able to overhear anything while she's creeping around. So I'm wondering whether it would be worth transferring the earbuds from Severin to Tenya so she could try and activate those. We've obviously got to roll for that, but he can speak Hebronic anyway, but she cannot. What do we think? And if that's what we were going to do we spend time on it or not?
I think so.
All right. Well, I'll just see that. So it's 1d8, you say?
Yes.
Other thing is we don't know what time of day it is, so we might find that after 8 hours it's still light-ish, or it's dark straight away, and when we wake up it's not even. Yeah. So.
In the carriage. 4.
4. It takes 4 hours.
Yep.
So that's 4 uninterrupted, non-watch hours to do so. And
All right, we'll have a sleepy first then.
Okay. All right. Anything else that people are wanting to do over this in preparation before going to sleep, or potentially, yeah.
Well, in terms of what we have got some wood, haven't we?
It would.
I guess we could. Yep.
It would be an hour if you were absolutely lucky. Not much wood there.
All right. Well, maybe we light that when we wake up, and we might want to keep our at least warm our water bottles up and melt that snow, right?
Okay. And
assuming it doesn't melt in the night anyway.
Do you have a watch order you can send me? I should have written this down elsewhere and should have this somewhere, but I don't.
Somewhere.
Buddy upkeep, intel lore. The items. Speed. Set up. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll just make one, shall we?
Yeah, please.
Right. So, who wants to go first? Severin. Okay.
Cool.
Not me.
Severin, great.
Hang on. So it's elves. 4 hours, isn't it? So let's go. Yotto, you right first?
Yep, Yotto can go first. Happy.
So that's Yotto, and we're just to do one person. Well, okay, we haven't got enough people, have we?
Well, then, so
that-
Yotto can do 4 hours, and then he can do 4 hours of attuning, right? So he won't be on watch, but if something happens, it's not going to be hard to give him a bump. Oh, you can't do that, I suppose. You've told me what the attunement is.
all right. Well, maybe. I mean, Tanya can do 4 hours, and who's the other elf? Or is there a half elf?
Eskel's a half elf. He can happily sit there and shiver and feel miserable, but doing what?
Well, he can do the last 4 hours, can't he? Because he'll get enough sleep with the first 6 hours, and then he can do the last 4 hours of watch.
Correct.
Yeah.
Between the three of us, we can manage it, no problem at all.
Okay, cool.
Yep. That's good.
All right. Could I have a perception roll from Yotto, a perception roll from Tanya, and a perception roll from Askell, please?
95. God damn it.
From Yotto, 95. And what's your bonus, please?
54.
Oh, cool. And next is Tanya.
38
30,
plus 85.
Okay. Plus 85. Cool.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Askell.
40 and plus 37.
Cool. All right. Ooh. Okay. So, Tanya, going into Yotto's been on watch for about 2 and a bit, whatever hours. Probably about two and a bit hours later, just as you're going onto watch. The shadows dramatically lengthen outside. I mean, it's been dim and overcast previously, as mentioned. You can see on screen the kind of the vibe of the day, and very quickly after that, it is black outside, absolute pitch black, pitch black. Then Tanya, later into your watch, kind of bleeding over into Askell's, the sound of the wind outside dramatically increases, and quite unnervingly, Askell, later into your watch in the early hours of what you're assuming is the morning, these whispers, and you can hear them, you just heard them just now, they're definitely getting louder at night. Definitely louder at night. Quite unpleasant. And these strange... Yeah. Is it just the winds? Are you sure you're hearing voices out there, Askell? You're sure you are. And around... just as dawn is beginning to break, the winds really picks up quite dramatically. And it's pretty intense for a while. It is really blowing a gale out there, and then dies away an hour or so after dawn. You sleep the nights. Everybody has regained both full power points and full hit points. Yes, and full hit points.
So that was 8 hours, was it? So we or longer than 8 hours.
Call it 8 hours.
So but we slept through the night. So it's quite a short night here. Is that? I mean,
No. Yeah, you slept through the night. Yep. You slept through the night.
Yeah, well, I'm just gauging because did we go to sleep when it was getting dark then?
As described, a couple of hours after you settled down. And it would have been.
I'm getting a gauge on how many hours that there was darkness.
Maybe 8 hours. Hard to judge. Cool. What do you do? Giles, just picking up a hot mic from you, mate. Thank you. What do you do?
So we've got maybe a half day's walk to get to the people from us. I guess if we were going to linger, we want to make sure that we could get some cover before that all cranks up again. When we looked down the valley, did it widen out, or was there valley the whole way?
as described a couple of
Yeah,
times.
I remember.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been an hour, so-
It does narrow from what you again, and it was only Tanya that used the spyglass, and it was only Tanya that had one look, so can't be exactly sure because it was only just one person. But you thought it definitely widened out in that direction. In the direction you're traveling, it does narrow. It's still wide. It curves more in this direction, in the direction you're traveling. It curves more. And there are, as mentioned before, there are these sometimes huge chunks of rock which are kind of in the where the valley kind of bifurcates and they're in rejoins again. In terms of the distance, you think like an absolute minimum, it was hard to judge distance, and it was only one person that used the spyglass, and it was only one perception roll, so you can't be sure. But Tanya thought at the absolute minimum, a quarter of a day, so half a morning's walk or half an afternoon's walk might get you to where the activity was as a minimum. Could be more than half a day. It could be a day. It could be more. It could be a day and a half. Hard to judge distances, but yeah, it was quite some way off. The stress again, you were in absolutely no danger of being seen.
Yeah.
Not human eyes anyway.
Shall we?
Oops.
Oh, I wonder if we should just get going and get some distance down.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Yep. Just
And
get
just-
exploring.
and I guess see how we track. Tanya will keep out front and look for the low ground so that being conscious she doesn't want to silhouette the party against the sky, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But also keeping close to the side of the valley.
Sure.
Looking for cover where possible and regularly looking through her eyeglass. The whole party be looking around the man-up, obviously,
Of course. Yep.
just particularly being mindful of distance and how close she may be to, or the party may be to people who could see them.
Yes. Okay. So you set off. The weather, if anything, has actually got a little bit milder. It's not still cold. The wind has dropped a bit. There is still probably less snow, but the clouds have cleared a bit, and you do catch now glimpses of the sun. But more importantly, that comet that has been a constant in your lives is now much, much closer. Very clearly visible where you can see it through the snow clouds in the sky above you, and much closer to you, physically closer to you on the ground. In terms of the terrain that you're going along, sometimes you're covering places like this where you can kind of get, so you can see the kind of the hollows in between, or the gaps in between where those things come, or these piles of rock, snow and ice come down from the cliffs, and you can get good cover as you cross those. Sometimes you need to skirt out the front, and you can see where the cursor's going, and obviously those are the times that you're somewhat nervous. There are other times, however, where you're particularly nervous, where you're traversing. Do I have a good image of it? What am I trying to describe? No, not that. Yeah, let's go to this one. Where, in some occasions, there is no cover, and the rock walls just come straight down into the ground, and there is no cover at the base. And it's those moments that you are all particularly nervous, and you hurry along as fast as you can. obviously with all the caveats about being cautious and all the rest. What I'd like, please, is I'd like to get 3 perception rolls from 3 people, and I'd like just a general roll from somebody, please.
I can do the general roll.
I'll do the perception. I'll do a couple of the perceptions.
Anna's got quite a good perception, doesn't she? Perhaps she could do the third.
Yeah,
Does she?
don't know. What have you got, Jaina?
Yep, mine's good. What have I got? It is 57.
Okay.
So,
Tanya roll 39 perception
Yeah.
plus 85.
Just a sec.
Severin.
Nice.
That was a. Sorry, what was that? What was Chandy's roll? I was still setting it up.
39 plus 85.
Thank you. Okay. Yep. And
Severin's was 91 plus 80.
can you roll again, please, Severin?
$53.
Okay. Interesting.
ugh.
And Jada, please.
Jada rolled 97, so I think she can actually see into the future now.
Mm-hmm. And what's her bonus, please? 57.
57, yeah.
Cool. And very good. And what was the general roll, please? Mascot.
One moment. He got a 49.
No, thank you. Very good. Okay. You are constantly, all of you are constantly scanning, and you're all helping each other on what was that and what's there. Did you hear that? Even though the wind is a little bit lower. But your travel for the first hour or so is relatively uneventful. You do hear these creepy voices. Are they voices on the wind or something? You're not quite sure. You come to places as described where the cliff face comes down sheer down to the ground, and then it opens up again, and you go through several of those. You come to a situation a bit further on where the valley bifurcates, and there's a massive chunk of rock in your path, and it looks like the valley curves around to the left and curves around to the right. Round to the right is more shaded, and it's definitely darker, and there's definitely more cover around to the right. But in both cases, you are facing the rock wall coming straight down. Do you have a preference?
I wonder if so this rock uplift would be a great place to put a lookout, wouldn't it?
It's many feet up in the air.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's not like a rise. It's a huge chunk of rock.
Well, judging by what we've seen so far, can you say the most direct way is to the people is on the left or the right?
Hard. You think it's probably both heading. Well, from what she saw, there was this one valley headed up towards the people.
Okay.
So yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen the other.
And does any of the way offer more cover than the other?
Yeah, as mentioned, probably the right hand is more in shadow.
All right, we'll take that one then and keep close to the wall.
Sure. So sheer rock coming down to the ground, and you find yourselves here. So as described, rock coming all the way down, and party's moving in. It opens up from what you can see, and this is this massive slab of rock here in between. It kind of bifurcates. You continue on, I'm assuming.
Yep, I'll see perceptions in all directions.
Sure thing.
Yep. Yeah.
You move on, and you've come into an area that looks like. Whoops! Excuse me. Strange. Should have worked. There we go. Yeah, it looks like this.
Good ambush territory.
And it's big. It's really wide. I mean, I'd have to just give you a sense of scale. You know, that's no, it's not doing it what I want it to do. Where's this? Hang on a sec. Hang on. Just give me a second to describe, please. So that's like 80 foot there, just to give you a sense. And as you've got to this point here, and you can just, we can't at this stage, coming in here, suddenly those that are listening and watching, and actually all of you, you hear the following. In the distance behind you, riders.
Can we hide?
And terrified horses. Screaming horses. And a horn. Then the scream of a horse again. We are going to go to rounds. Sounds. I'll just mic down. Where's my galloping? That's the wrong one. In the distance behind you, some way behind you, in this cavern, in this canyon that you've just come down, sheer walls behind you, is that sound. Terrified, utterly terrified horses, screaming, clearly not happy about something. And you can't see them, but you can certainly hear the sounds of many horses coming fast behind you. We have gone into rounds. Next actor, next actor, next actor, next actor, next actor. The first to act is Jada.
Oh, awesome. Do I have a rope? A rope. Yes, I do. I'm going to try and make a lasso.
Okay. Jada, you start making...
Okay,
So you take off your pack, and and you start making a lasso. Cool. Next up is Askell.
Yeah, Askell would like to having. Well, I don't know if anyone has said anything about. Can you hear the noise, the screaming, the noise of the horses, and we need to get away and hide. And he would be looking for a suitable close location to get behind. Not that thing that looks like a hole.
Yep.
So whether to the left.
Okay, so here's doing a perception roll. Give me a roll, please.
You got 29
29.
plus 37.
Cool. You don't take in much, I'm afraid, Askell. Pretty much just what you see there. Yeah. Damn it. Hang on. There we go. That's what I wanted. Next, so that was I'm assuming that was a 30% action. You got 70% left to act. What do you do, Askell?
Yeah, he would, I guess, like to just push to the right against the canyon wall.
Damn it. Last one I find. There we go. Oh, damn it. Why is... Yeah. So this map, by the way, just a heads up, I have had a lot of issues with this map. It is cantankerous. I guess we're just going to have to deal with it. So he moves up and pushes up against the canyon wall. Done.
Okay.
Who's next? Severin is next.
So, as mentioned before we came around the corner, they were perceiving as we go. I guess he'd be interested to see if that cave entrance just to our right. I assume that is a cave entrance.
Yep.
He would say to the party, "Hide now,"
Okay.
and then run up that slope towards the cave.
Give me a roll, please.
2.
2. It's a big indentation. It isn't a cave. It goes in about. I mean, it would obscure you from view immediately, but it doesn't go any far back. It goes in maybe 5 foot. If that.
In his estimation, though, could the party be out of sight in there?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, it's quite large.
Yeah, well, that's the closest. That's still 30 foot away, so we can get in there in the next round, ish. And
Yep.
and can we get up there? Okay.
No, that would definitely require a maneuver. That is pretty steep and rocky and cold. It would require a medium maneuver to get up, or medium maneuvers to get up.
Well, in his estimation, like more. Okay, I mean, it's been. Is that the closest place to hide? He's going to make a judgment call. He's been perceiving where he is. Obviously, the other side of the valley is 100 feet away.
Is about 80. Yes.
So it would take 2 rounds for us all to get across there. Correct?
Well, if you ran, it would be 1 round.
Well, in that case, so on the opposite side of the valley, is there anything better place to hide?
Do you want a perception roll?
Yeah, I was already perceiving as he went. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Give me a perception.
sure.
Give me a perception roll.
54 plus 80.
Mm-hmm. he gets kind of that much information. Again, quite a shallow scrape there. There's another hole in the ground there. He doesn't obviously see that one. There's this chunk of rock he sees there. That's pretty much his information. That would be roughly the same depth as the one directly across.
Well, the one they could run to that one, can they?
To here?
Yeah.
It would require a climb maneuver to get up into it.
And what about just behind that? There's some fallen rocks or some rubble.
Here?
Yeah, that. What's that?
Yep.
There's a bit of a nook in there.
Yep, you could run over there. Unfortunately, I don't think my map is going to let me take you over there. But yes, there are some rocks you could duck down behind. There are also rocks here, here, and here.
So yeah, I mean, I suppose he's looking for the fastest, most effective hiding that he perceives.
Yep. If he wanted to, probably scramble up and get into this hole here.
That he thinks that'll be the quickest and most effective.
Either that, or trying to... That's a much smaller hole. He could probably get in there, but others... No, maybe not. Whether you could get everybody in there, don't know.
But he thinks that's the best option.
Yep, or going down here. There's more rocks, etc. down here too.
Sorry, can you just show the way then? If there's a hiding place there.
I don't know what a hiding place is, but there's rocks there.
Sorry, there's a window in the way. I can't quite. There's a bit of the main game thing. Can you, sorry, move this. Oh, there you go. That's better. Thanks. Okay, so there's a bit of cover behind those rocks as well. It doesn't look that good though, does it? No, I guess what do you think, guys? Go for the cave?
Well, hang on. What's Severin doing? Is he having this conversation?
No. All right, it'll go for the cave.
Okay. Damn it. Okay, can you give me a medium maneuver, please? You would estimate, just judging distances, I'm being probably a little bit... yeah, I just got my my horses a little bit off. They're still some way behind you. You're definitely picking up that. They're not going to be on you in 10 seconds or 20... I should have said that at the beginning. Not on you in 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds. You think you've probably got about three or four rounds, at least, to act.
All right. 51.
51. Cool. Cool. What's his moving and other skill, please?
Minus 10, I think, isn't it? Minus 10.
Okay. You make about 30% up the slope.
Okay.
Damn it, my map is not going to play ball. Next to act is Yotto.
I think Yotto is going to be holier than thou. He wants to get into that hole.
Okay. 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 Give me a roll, please.
I'm just trying to set my script. Sorry, just. $26.
26. What is your agility, thanks?
13.
13.
Is that? Yes, it is.
20%. So you make it, hang on, Severin, Yotto, Joda. That's cool. Cool. 30%, 20%. Cool. So you managed to scramble 20% up the slope. Next, please. Sorry, you don't know who's next. Next is Tanya.
Yep, up slope, please.
Cool. Give me a roll.
$68.
Mm-hmm.
Moving and armor is plus 22.
Cool.
100.
And she is
9.
She gets 80% of the way there. She's nearly there. Cool. Next person to act, Nicholas.
Up the slope, please.
Okay.
Got a roll.
Yeah, give me a roll.
51.
51. And what's his agility, please?
14.
Cool. 40% of the way there.
Cool.
Jada, you're messing with your pack. Askell, you were moving up to the size of the wall. Askell, I would give you... Damn it. Yeah. I've just done something really stupid. I would give you a bit more of the rounds to move if you would like.
Yep. If everyone's rushing up there, then Askell would follow.
Okay, sure thing. Give me a roll, please.
Got a 35.
Mm-hmm. And he's in leather armor.
Yep. It was +4.
+4? Cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, +4.
Thank you. 20%. So you're kind of lagging behind. That is the end of that round. Rolling initiative.
It's 10 o'clock, by the way.
It is 10. Yes. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there for tonight, folks. That was... I've just realized I made a tactical error.
Do tell, Chris.
Just realized I started you guys in part of the map, which is wonky. Damn it! So that's
Oh,
gonna.
nice levitating.
Yeah. So that's my mistake, not yours. That's annoying. Parts of the map are fine, parts of it aren't, and I've just realised that was a bad place to start. But never mind. There we go, guys! You're in the valley. Rolling credits.
There was a medium, wasn't it? A medium maneuver.
Yes, that's right. And I've definitely had enough of the horses.
I'll have them.
You're going to get your lasso out, aren't you?
Teasing me now, you know. Sending horses. Every time there's a horse, I can't get it. They just run away from us. Okay. One day.
Alright, folks. Oh, and we still got a horse screaming. I thought I switched it off.
When you said you were horses, I was like, there they are, the ones that we lost. We found them. You're so nice to us.
I'm always nice to my players. Always nice to my players. There we go, and that is it for the